Chapter 626. Hua Zixing smiled at Nan Gongyu and stood up. She placed her hands in front of her abdomen and maintained her elegance. She said softly, "What do you think about my appearance compared to Lu Shuang? Lu Shuang is at most beautiful and makes people feel comfortable just by looking at her. You, on the other hand, are stunning. Even your younger sister is not as outstanding as you in terms of appearance and temperament. If it wasn't for the fact that you've been living in America for a long time, the title of America's #1 socialite would have been you instead of Hua Rui." Nan Gongyu looked at her with pity. "Then what do you think about my figure and temperament compared to Lu Shuang?" Hua Zixing asked again. "The two of you have similar figures. She's slightly fatter and taller than you. In terms of personality, she's straightforward. It's obvious that she grew up in a carefree environment. She's a little naive, a little romantic, a little willful, a little friendly, and a little easygoing. She makes people feel comfortable and natural around her. However, there are a lot of girls like you on the streets. As for you, you have a gentle temperament, are brave and resourceful, know when to advance and when to retreat. You are considerate, magnanimous, mature, wise, and decisive. You are the kind of wife that men want to marry. In terms of background, I'm the eldest daughter of the biggest family in America. Although I am not as noble as the princess, I am only slightly inferior. As for Lu Shuang, she was only born in a well-off family. I don't understand. How am I inferior to her?" Hua Zixing said delicately. Even when she was angry, she was as gentle as water. That kind of forbearance, that kind of strength, not to mention men, even women would feel sorry for her. You can't give men what they want. After all, for men, being able to eat is more practical than being able to see, Nan Gongyu said in a low voice. "I can do it now. It's just that giving birth will be dangerous. But I can find someone to do it for me. Now that medicine is so advanced, I can just take out the eggs, right?" Hua Zixing said with reddened eyes. She lowered her eyes, looking gentle and weak. She clenched her fists tightly because of her fair skin and neck. Because of her fair skin, the veins on her neck were clearly visible. Nan Gongyu touched her head tenderly and said softly, "But Shunyan doesn't know? He thinks you can't." Hua Zixing raised her head and looked at Nan Gongyu pitifully. "Right now, Shunyan's heart is filled with Lu Shuang. If I say that I can, not only will he not have sex with me, he will also stay far away from me. I know him too well." Nan Gongyu fell silent for a moment. She looked at Hua Zixing with a profound gaze and asked, "Zi, do you really like him?" Tears the size of soybeans rolled down Hua Zixing's cheeks. "My family can't do without him, and there's only a year left until the agreement between us expires. I'm worried that he'll abandon me and marry Lu Shuang. After that, I don't know, where should I go? I'll become the center of the family. Don't worry about that. I just want to know, do you really like him?" Nan Gongyu continued to ask. Hua Zixing shook her head. "I don't know. I really don't know, Xiaoyu. I've never thought about this before. Back then, when I married him, other than relying on power, it was also because he didn't mind that I couldn't sleep with a man. On this point, I reached an agreement with him. So he didn't marry the princess. We reached an agreement on this point. So he didn't marry a princess. Instead, he married me. I thought that I would treat him like a guest for the rest of my life. I also enjoyed the life of being the president's wife. Power, glory, and companionship. I like to stand by his side and fight alongside him. He was a very supportive and safe ally. Until a hint of viciousness flashed in Hua Zixing's eyes, hidden in her pain. She continued, "I discovered Lu Shuang's existence. Shun Yin raised her in the side courtyard and often went to see her. After I found out, he told me that she was the woman he truly wanted to marry in the future. They even had a son. I was worried that she would destroy the balance between me and Shun Yin. So, half a year ago, I instigated Madame Yao. Madame Yao went back and instigated Colonel Yao. Colonel Yao ordered his invisible subordinates to assassinate Lu Shuang. But she was very lucky. She actually came back alive and even caused Colonel Yao to die under military law." "Did you appear directly for the assassination?" Nan Gongyu asked worriedly, looking at Hua Zixing's expression. "I didn't, but I called Colonel Tang directly and hinted that Lu Shuang was a demon who could bring disaster to the country and the people. He should have seen through my thoughts, so he sent mercenaries to assassinate Lu Shuang. Now that Shun Yin has captured the mercenaries, with his wealth and intelligence, he will be able to find out that it was Colonel Tang. I'm worried that Colonel Tang will expose me. Then, I will definitely be finished. Hua Zixing sat down on the chair dispiritedly. She held her forehead and sighed. Nan Gongyu squatted down in front of Hua Zixing and held her ice-cold hand. She looked at her gently. If he finds out, I'll take you away. We'll go to a place where no one knows us. We'll definitely be happy there. What about my family? I will become a sinner in my family. Hua Zixing said with tears in her eyes. You have already shouldered too much for your family. You don't think about your family at all. That's enough, isn't it? You should think about yourself. Nan Gongyu eyes were also red. Or, have you already fallen in love with Shun Yin? Hua Zixing remained silent and closed her eyes. Her tears flowed even more fiercely. I don't know. I don't understand. I thought I was heartless and loveless, but I'm jealous of Lu Shuang. I'm very jealous. Shun Yin is in her room every night. I can hear their laughter. Shun Yin has never smiled at me like this. He had never smiled at me before, nor had he ever treated me with such gentleness and love. However, he had a doting smile on Lu Shuangquan. She can sleep until noon every day and then go back to sleep. She could do nothing but play on the computer in her room every day. But even if she is a good-for-nothing, Shun Yin still loves her so much. I don't understand. Am I going to lose because I'm not a good-for-nothing? Hua Zixing was a little emotional, but her expression was still not ferocious. However, her crying was even more heartbreaking. A beauty. She was so beautiful even when she was crying. After sobbing for a while, she calmed down and looked at Nan Gongyu. I am greedy for my current power. I want to stay by his side. I don't know if this is love. I don't understand. Nan Gongyu understood. Hua Zixing had fallen in love with Shun Yin. Moreover, it was deep and unknowingly. Chapter 6:27. Hua Zixing lifted her head and looked at Nan Gongyu with teary eyes. I can't let Colonel Tang betray me. He has to die before Shun Yin interrogates him. I'll do it now. Calm down and don't let Shun Yin see through you. He's too smart, Nan Gongyu instructed. Xiaoyu, be careful. If you die, I won't be able to live either, Hua Zixing reminded her. Nan Gongyu nodded and disappeared from the president's residence. Lu Shuang was full after eating the snacks. When she returned to her room, she wondered if she should meet Bai Ye. But when she thought of her mother and Bai Ye's betrayal, she felt a knot in her heart. The more you cared about someone, the more you didn't want to forgive them easily. That was human nature. No matter how he thought about it, it was too irritating. He decided to play the game. After playing for a while, he felt a strong sense of guilt in his heart. Shun Yin was busy with her matters, but she was playing games without a care in the world. She had come back to China with the intention of taking revenge, but in the end, she just followed Shun Yin around all day and did nothing. She felt that she had no sense of responsibility and value. Was she going to follow Shun Yin around for the rest of her life? She looked at her tummy. It had only been a few days since she came back. She had finally gotten so skinny, but now she was getting fat again. She sighed and stopped playing games. She left the room and went to the third floor. Hua Zixing was in the middle of an illustration. Her silhouette looked especially picturesque. Lu Shuang knocked on the door. Hua Zixing turned her head and looked at Lu Shuang. She smiled gently. I've arranged a few pots of flowers, but I'm not satisfied with them. Can you help me take a look and see if I need to make any adjustments? Lu Shuang walked to Hua Zixing and glanced at the flowers on the table. I don't know much about flower arrangement, and I don't have any sense of aesthetics. I'm sorry. It's okay. It depends on the person. Some people think it looks good, while others don't. What's the matter? Hua Zixing continued to arrange her flowers. Lu Shuang thought for a moment. Did you go to the orphanage? Hua Zixing smiled and said, Not yet. I'm waiting for Ian. I think it'll be tomorrow or the day after. I'll wait for Ian to come back and discuss before making a decision. What are you going to do in the orphanage? Lu Shuang asked. Give the children food and school bags, then see what they need and add some resources. The plan is to visit 10 orphanages and 10 nursing homes. You should know the specific itinerary. Ian has a meeting this time. After the meeting, there will be a big move. Hua Zixing explained. Said, "Oh, what do you usually do?" Lu Shuang asked tentatively. She felt that Hua Zixing was perfect. She wanted to learn as much as she could. She did not waste Shun Yin's kindness to her. As long as there was improvement, it was fine. She had tried her best. A look of disdain flashed across Hua Zixing's eyes. That kind of woman was thousands of miles away from her. What was the point of learning from her? Shun Yin liked her. She felt that it was unfair, indignant, and unimaginable. But she hid it well. She smiled and said patiently, "I'm in the cabinet in the morning. I'll follow the schedule of the cabinet meeting. When I'm free, I'll arrange flowers, listen to music, read books, and so on. What about you? What do you usually do?" "Me? I play games and read books. I don't have a job at the moment, so most of my time is spent playing games." Lu Shuang smiled embarrassedly. "What books do you read?" Hua Zixing asked casually. "Romance, urban, CEO, fantasy, and ancient literature. But I don't read much. I'm impetuous and can't calm down to read." Hua Zixing paused. She only read finance, politics, history, and romance. The more she interacted with Lu Shuang, the more she realized the gap between them. She really did not understand why Shun Yin liked her. "You and Ian used to be classmates. Both of you did well in school, right?" Hua Zixing smiled. She was actually testing him. In fact, she was jealous that Lu Shuang was Shun Yin's classmate. Shun Yin was so perfect. He should not have such a classmate. "I'm okay. He's a bad student. He's the last one." She was quite proud of this. But Shun Yin was not a bad student. He was just rebellious. He often handed in blank papers and did not want to take the exams. But he did take the exams a few times. He was first in his year, but she did not want to say it. "No way. He doesn't look like a bad student." Hua Zixing was shocked. Shun Yin was perfect in her heart. "It's true. He's different when he was young. He even had a runny nose." This started after the summer camp. She had a fever. Shun Yin came to her and said that the ghost story was made up to scare her. She was so angry that she exploded. How could there be such a bad person in the world? All right, she was not a good person either. So she prepared a big bucket of ice water and poured it all on Shun Yin when he was not paying attention. She still remembered that Shun Yin was not angry at all. He smiled and said, "I had a fever with you. Don't be angry anymore, right?" In the end, he did not have a fever. He caught a cold and had a runny nose. During those days, her mood was super good. Cough, cough. "You were the campus belle back then, right?" Hua Zixing asked casually. Although she did not think that Lu Shuang could be the campus belle with his looks, many children were very unsophisticated. Some of them came from well-to-do families. If they dressed up prettily, they would easily become a joke. Lu Shuang scratched his head. "I'm more like a joke. I ate a little too much during puberty. So it was a little tragic." Hua Zixing, she smiled awkwardly. "Sounds like a story with a lot of love." "There was no love. I didn't get along with him when we were young. He was a little tyrant, the kind who always bullied people," Shun Yin explained. "Then you must have a strong sense of justice. Happy quarrelsome. Thinking about it, I think you two are a good match." Hua Zixing's eyes curved into crescents as she smiled sweetly. "Not really. I didn't have much sense of justice when I was young. I bullied the weak and feared the strong. I never provoked him. When I saw him, the first thing I did was run far away. Unless he bullied me, I would bully him back. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night." Actually, Lu Shuang had forgotten a lot of things when he was young. However, Shun Yin was too flamboyant and often bullied her. It left a deep impression in her mind. She even remembered the details. Hua Zixing, she could not understand why Shun Yin would like Lu Shuang. The two of them were completely different people. Whether it was in terms of temperament, self-restraint, knowledge, ability, or background, they were worlds apart. Chapter 628. "But I can tell that he likes you a lot," Hua Zixing said with a smile after a momentary daze. Lu Shuang pointed at her head and said in disdain, "He either has a bad brain or bad taste." Hua Zixing laughed. You're humorous. That's your greatest strength. If humorous is considered a strength, then that's my second greatest strength, Lu Shuang said thoughtfully. What's your first greatest strength? Hua Zixing asked curiously as she put down the flowers in her hand. Lu Shuang shrugged. You're just lazy. Hua Zixing laughed so hard that she was about to cry. She held her stomach and said, You're too funny. Lu Shuang sighed. How could she say that she wasn't joking? Go ahead. I'm going to take a walk downstairs. I won't disturb you anymore. Lu Shuang didn't know what else to say to Hua Zixing. After all, the two of them weren't familiar with each other. She also realized that although Hua Zixing had a good temper and spoke with high EQ, there was still a barrier between them. This barrier seemed to separate the two of them into two different worlds. She didn't realize this when it came to Shen Yin. Did this mean that Shen Yin was more approachable? She walked towards the door. Remember to wear more clothes. It's cold outside, Hua Zixing reminded her. Lu Shuang nodded and went back to her room. She put on a down jacket and went out for some fresh air. She didn't know what she could learn from Hua Zixing. She wasn't interested in arranging flowers. She could pick flowers. She could read books too. Why was there such a big difference? In her heart, there was a perfect goddess, and that was Baya. She thought about it. Other than reading, Baya knew what she wanted. She was rational, steady, and knew how to do housework. She didn't know how to do housework and didn't know what she wanted. She wasn't rational or steady. No matter how she thought about it, she felt that she was useless. Helpless, she walked to the lakeside, picked up a handful of stones, and threw them into the water. She watched as the water rippled. The sun was about to set, and the sky was bright red. The reflection on the surface of the lake had a tinge of green and a tinge of red. It was especially beautiful. Woof, woof. Lu Shuang heard a dog barking. He turned his head and saw a very small dog not far away. It was very small, fluffy, white, and had round eyes. It was only the size of a palm. She walked over and picked up the puppy. Wow, what a small puppy. Is it a teacup puppy? Why are you here? Didn't you see me? Shen Yin said helplessly and walked to Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was surprised. When did you come? I really didn't see you. I've been here for a while. You're in a daze. What are you thinking about? You rarely use your brain, Shen Yin said bluntly. She rolled her eyes at him. Will you die if you don't tell me? Don't bother me today. I don't know why I'm not in a good mood. I'm thinking about life. Come, I'll enlighten you. Otherwise, with your blockhead, you won't get any results tomorrow. He sat on the armrest of the wooden chair beside her. Lu Shuang patted the puppy's head and looked at Shen Yin in confusion. Do you think I'm useless? Shen Yin nodded. I don't think so. You are. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes again. If I'm useless, why are you keeping me? Recycling trash. I like to challenge the impossible. Get lost. Birds of a feather flock together. If I'm useless, you're not far from useless. I'm such a confident person, but I've lost my confidence because of you. Are you happy that I'm not confident? Lu Shuang felt a little uncomfortable. She thought that she might really have an inferiority complex. Shen Yin saw that Lu Shuang's eyes were red and knew that she had made a joke. She said helplessly, That's why I want you to stay by my side. I'm so smart. If you're with me, you'll become smarter day by day. Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in her heart. She glanced at his peerlessly elegant face. Shen Yin, why do you like me? Shen Yin shrugged. I think I'm too perfect. Heaven is jealous of me. You're not perfect, so I'm just a burden. Seriously. Lu Shuang was about to get angry. He frowned. Sigh. Shen Yin stood up and looked at Lu Shuang, who was about to explode. I don't need a reason to like you. I've liked you for more than 10 years. If there's a reason, it's that once I've decided on someone, I won't change. Who asked you to seduce me when I was young? Me? His words instantly calmed her raging heart. Even her tone became gentler. How did I seduce you? You wore my shirt on purpose and didn't wear any clothes inside, didn't you? How old were you then? You already knew how to seduce men? Shen Yin poked her head. Lu Shuang could not cover his forehead because he was holding the puppy. He took a step back. How did I do that? I didn't notice. I was still young then. I didn't think too much. Shen Yin smiled. So it's fate. Maybe it was a freak accident. Anyway, I'm already in the wrong. I'm a person. Even if I'm in the wrong, I'll continue on as if I'm in the right. He was very similar to her in this aspect. She was also the kind of person who would continue on as if she was in the right, even if she was in the wrong. She calmed down. Lowering her head, she looked at the puppy in her hands and asked, "Why did you think of buying a puppy?" During the meeting today, we talked about Baya. We also talked about Baya's dog. You seemed to like dogs in the past, so I bought it. It can keep you company when you're bored, lest you let your imagination run wild all day, Shiniyin said as she stroked the puppy's head. Her fingers touched her hand from time to time, as if he was stroking her hand and treating her like a little animal. Lu Shuang paused. He was obviously teasing her. If it were any other time, he would definitely be angry. However, she could hear his concern in his teasing. He remembered that she liked dogs. He knew that she was bored and guessed that she would let her imagination run wild. Perhaps it was because her attitude toward him had changed a little. She actually felt touched. "Why'd you talk about Baya?" Lu Shuang asked. "Baya opened a website and hired some reporters. In the future, there will be a disciplinary officer in the officialdom. She is a person who doesn't exist in politics, but many people are terrified of her. Therefore, many people are afraid of her, and even her dog." Shiniyin said with a smile. "You won't deal with her, will you?" Lu Shuang was vaguely worried. Shiniyin scratched her nose. "Don't worry. For your sake, I'll protect her. After all, she is the person who really cares about you." A layer of moisture appeared in Lu Shuang's eyes. He was originally an emotional person. She found that Shiniyin was good to her. Her brain twitched, and she said, "I'll take off the ring and give you another child." "Hello, everyone. I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat." Chapter 629. Shuniyin's eyes were filled with excitement. She leaned over, lifted her chin, and kissed her lips. Lu Shuang regretted saying that. She felt that she was too impulsive and should have thought about it. However, when she saw how excited Shuniyin was, there was a soft feeling in her heart, as if something was melting. She didn't know how to do anything, but she could give birth. She was pregnant after having sex with Shuniyin for one night. She was in good health, so Debeo didn't get sick very often. It seemed that her role was to give birth to children for Shuniyin. However, when she thought about it, she didn't want to become a tool for giving birth. She took a step back, and when she saw Shun Yin smile, she swallowed the words that she wanted to change. "Shuang, I'm very happy. You are finally not a stone." Shun Yin raised the corner of his mouth, and the crystal light shone in his beautiful eyes, making him look extremely handsome. Lu Shuang blinked. "Even if I am a stone, I can give birth to a son Wukong. What's the hurry?" Shun Yin knocked her on the head. "What son Wukong? I'm not a monkey. Don't talk nonsense." Lu Shuang knocked him on the head. "You said that I was a stone first." Shun Yin put his arm around her shoulder, pulled her into his arms, and looked at her happily. "Didn't you say that you're not a stone now?" "Yes," Lu Shuang responded, and her face was slightly red. She felt that she was a little pretentious and not like herself. She cleared her throat, lowered her head, and looked at the teacup puppy in her hand. She changed her mind and said, "It is so obedient. It doesn't bark anymore. What is it called?" "Huji bear, a teacup puppy. When it grows up, it is the size of 2 palms." Shuniyin explained. "It is so cute." Lu Shuang leaned her face against the puppy and rubbed its soft fur. "What should I call it?" "Stone, how about a stone? I already have a rock like you. How tiring would it be for me to have another rock?" "I'll call you Big Bear," Shuniyin said softly. Lu Shuang laughed. "You call such a small Huji bear a big bear? Where's your IQ? What a joke. This is my wish for him." Shuniyin stroked the dog's head. Lu Shuang turned around and did not let him touch it. "Are you stupid? This breed is precious when it's small. When it's big, it's not precious anymore. My little bear doesn't grow big. That's why it's so cute." Shuniyin hugged her from behind and looked at the puppy. "How can it be yours? It's mine." He had to get close to her to make her feel hot. She felt that if this went on, she would become a hungry wolf. Returning to the topic, she asked, "Do you know who the person behind this is?" "Yes, I'll show you a photo." Shuniyin took out her phone and passed it to Lu Shuang. "Is it him?" Lu Shuang stretched out his head and widened his eyes. "It's him. I told you that the clothes he wears are invisible. I didn't lie to you, right? Who is he? He is not an invisible person, but he is related to them. He is Old Tang's adopted son, Shinian said. Old Tang? Is he an invisible person? Yes. He is one of the company commanders. I've investigated. The others have nothing to do with this matter. He should be the only one. Then, Lu Shuang wanted to say something, but stopped. Are you going to? Don't worry. Since he killed your mother, he should be responsible for it. I will give you an explanation. I will give him a mission soon. It's a narrow escape. So he died honorably, Shunian said. Died honorably? My mother didn't die honorably either. She died in a miserable way. I don't like him. Why did he kill me for no reason? Lu Shuang said softly and lowered his head. He was just talking to himself. He didn't want to put Shunian in a difficult position. Okay, let him die less honorably, Shunian agreed. Lu Shuang looked up at him in shock. She didn't expect him to agree to this. That? Will it affect you? My woman can't even do this. How can I be your man? You don't have to think too much about it. Just leave it to me, Shunian said, and took the teacup puppy from Lu Shuang's hand. The teacup puppy barked at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang recovered from the shock. Didn't you say you would give it to me? Shunian put the dog on the ground. The seller told me not to hold this kind of dog in your hands all the time. They will get used to not moving and die quickly. Let follow us. Oh, Lu Shuang replied. She wasn't an unreasonable person. Shun Yin smiled at her, held her hand, and walked forward. Lu Shuang looked behind him worriedly. The teacup puppy was following them. Lu Shuang laughed. This dog is so smart. It knows how to follow people. To be exact, it knows how to follow me. Do you think everyone is like you? Shun Yin said with drooping eyes. Lu Shuang made an X with his hands. Are you done? You are the father dog, and it is the baby dog. Of course it will follow you. You mean you're the son of a dog? President, where's your integrity? Aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Shun Yin smiled. I'm sorry. Birds of a feather flock together. I've been led astray by you. Don't you have any shame? She walked in front quickly. Shun Yin smiled and followed behind her. He was in a good mood because of what she said. She was willing to give birth to his child. Did this mean that she had truly accepted him? Lu Shuang entered the house first. Her face was flushed red from the hot air. She took off her outer clothes and hung them on the clothes rack. Shun Yin walked in and took off her coat. Where's the Xiong? Lu Shuang looked behind him. There was no puppy. He looked outside and there was no puppy. He looked at Shun Yin's arms again. There was no puppy. He asked again, where's the Xiong? He's as stupid as you. You probably lost him. Shun Yin walked upstairs indifferently. Lu Shuang was a little annoyed. If you lost him, why don't you bring him back? Where's your love? Shun Yin was not angry at all. She turned around and looked at her. Idiot, he's in my pocket. Come up quickly. Lu Shuang looked at his pocket. Indeed, the puppy's white head was peeking out and looking at her. Lu Shuang sighed. Shun Yin had to bully her every day. What happened to liking him? She followed him upstairs with her head drooping. Hua Zixing also heard Shun Yin's voice. She came down from the third floor and looked at Shun Yin's pocket. She smiled in surprise. Is that a puppy? It's so small and cute. Yeah, I bought a teacup puppy. Sometimes Lu Shuang gets bored at home. Does she have her lunch late? Hua Zixing gently stroked the puppy in Shun Yin's pocket and said softly, she only had her lunch at 2 in the afternoon. Should I move her dinner later? Chapter 630. Jealousy flashed across Hua Zixing's eyes. Shun Yin was always thinking about Lu Shuang. He even considered that she would be late for dinner. The better he treated Lu Shuang, the more she wanted him. If she could get Shun Yin's love, Shun Yin would treat her as well as Lu Shuang. She was no worse than Lu Shuang. She should be able to do it. Anyway, she was his wife. If she didn't want a divorce, no one could force her. If she had time, she would have a chance. But this jealousy disappeared in a flash. She couldn't let him find out. Okay, is the itinerary ready? When are we going to the orphanage? Hua Zixing asked in a businesslike manner. Her voice sounded a little stiff. Shun Yin frowned. Suspicion flashed across his eyes. Call Secretary Jiang and ask for it. Just follow his itinerary. I'll have to trouble you for the time being. After Shun Yin finished speaking, he ignored Hua Zixing and walked towards a room. Lu Shuang didn't know what to say to Hua Zixing, so he didn't say anything and walked past her. Lu Shuang. Hua Zixing stopped Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang turned to look at her. You can come with us when we go to the orphanage. Hua Zixing invited him. Thank you. She also wanted to go. She could learn more from Hua Zixing when the time came. Shun Yin was so nice to her. All she could do was do what he wanted. Baya had said that this was the right way to love someone. Love? Lu Shuang was trembling with fear. She just felt that she liked him a little, and now she was in love. Hua Zixing smiled. Of course. Let's go up. He must be anxious. Lu Shuang blushed. He nodded and walked towards Shun Yin's room. He wasn't in his room. The puppy was biting on a disposable teacup, pretending to be fierce. It looked so cute. Lu Shuang's heart softened, and he wanted to hug the puppy. Shun Yin's voice came from her room. You haven't leveled up even after such a long time. I'm not playing. Lu Shuang said. When he saw that his computer was on, he corrected himself. I just played for a while. Didn't I tell you? I'm thinking about life. Shun Yin sat on her bed with her elbows propped on the bed. She smiled at her, her eyes sparkling like the dazzling stars on a lake in winter. Lu Shuang was embarrassed by his stare, and his heart was beating fast. This evildoer was extremely sexy with just a casual stroll. His body was filled with male hormones. She recalled the time on the steamer, and the details flashed through her mind. She cleared her throat. Why are you looking at me? Come here, Shun Yin shouted. According to Lu Shuang's usual personality, if he asked her to go over, she would lose face. But at this moment, she seemed to be bewitched by him. She shouldn't have gone to the drill with him. During the drill, he was full of wildness. It was the manly feeling that she had always liked. He was so handsome that she was mesmerized. But if she didn't go to the drill and be the bait, she wouldn't be able to find the person who killed her mother. She walked towards him. Shun Yin held her hand and squeezed it. Have you thought it through? To me, what I need is not a perfect person who could be the president's wife, but a wife. I want to be the president for the sake of my family, and I want to be your man for the sake of myself. I want to be a selfish person. Can you help me? Lu Shuang looked at Shun Yin and frowned. Shun Yin, do you know how to read minds? Otherwise, how would you know what I'm thinking? Shun Yin pulled her into his arms. Your intestines are straight, and you show all your thoughts on your face. I'm glad that you're finally willing to think. No matter how Lu Shuang heard it, he seemed to be looking down on her. Feelings. Do you think that I usually don't think? Before this, you thought that you would leave after you took revenge. You never thought that you weren't suitable for the position of the president's wife, because you didn't care about the position at all, and you didn't think that you would do it. What you thought was that you wanted freedom to stay away from me. But now you're thinking about it. As long as you think about it, it means that you want to be the president's wife. You don't care about these statuses. That's because you care about me, and you want to stay by my side. Shun Yin looked at her affectionately. Lu Shuang felt that he knew her better than she did. It seemed that he had hit the nail on the head. Shun Yin, I can consider staying by your side, but can you not read my mind? I feel that I don't have any secrets in front of you. This makes me very unhappy. Shun Yin's smile widened. It's easy to feel good. He turned around and pressed her down on the bed. He looked at her and placed his hand on her stomach. When are you going to remove the ring? After I get pregnant, will others suspect you? Lu Shuang was a little worried that it would affect his reputation. Leave it to me. You just have to give birth to my child in peace, Shun Yin said softly and kissed her on the lips. It was very gentle and tender. Lu Shuang looked at him as if the sun and moon had lost their brilliance. To be honest, although she had done it with him in the past, she was actually still resistant in her heart. Although she was shrewd, spoke carelessly, and was sometimes very open, in fact, she was conservative. So, until now, she had only had one man, Shun Yin. But now, she seemed to be willing. Her heart was wet. It was just a kiss, but she felt an electric current running through her body. She swallowed her saliva and said, Don't be like last time. You don't like last time? His voice was a little ambiguous. That was two. I'm not a masochist, Lu Shuang said uncomfortably. Xiao Shuang, that wasn't abuse. It was fun. I won't hurt you. You did it 4 or 5 times last time, right? The more Shun Yin said, the more embarrassed she felt. Stop talking. Big Bear is still outside. It can't hear us. There are only the two of us here. Are you shy? Shunyan's voice was a little husky and full of charm. Why would I be shy? You know I'm very thick-skinned. She didn't want to admit it. Huh. Shunyan chuckled. So you know you're thick-skinned too. You're so thick-skinned that you can't even see red. Shunyan pinched her face and sat up. Come here. I'll play with you for a while. Lu Shuang also sat up and peeked at him. Shunyan pursed his lips and smiled. You want it? Who wants it? Let's play. Watch how I crush you. Lu Shuang sat next to him. Knock, knock, knock. There was a knock on the door. Lu Shuang looked at the door. I'll go and open the door. She opened the door. Chapter 631. Yin, something happened to Minister Zeng from the Ministry of Education, Hua Zixing said. What happened? Shunyan was very calm and looked at Hua Zixing calmly. In the past 2 days, Minister Zeng had embezzled 67 million and used 2 women. According to the normal procedure, Minister Zeng would be kicked out of politics and thrown into prison next week. Minister Zeng was just found dead in his room. I don't think he committed suicide. His head was separated from his body, but his face was slashed 18 times. His eyes were blinded, and he had symptoms of suffocation. There was a piece of paper in his mouth, and on it was written, "This secret will disappear." His hands were tied, and he fell to the ground. If it was him, he wouldn't be able to do it. The problem is that the room is a secret room, and no one can get in, Hua Zixing said in horror. About this, I think we can look for Baya. Baya is an expert in psychology, especially in criminal psychology, Lu Shuang blurted out. Shunyan looked at Lu Shuang. After Lu Shuang said that, he also felt that he was being rude. He glanced at Shunyan, and the two of them looked at each other. Shunyan smiled. He knew Lu Shuang too well. Lu Shuang was actually a person who didn't get angry easily. He was too carefree, and it was rare for him to be angry with Baya for such a long time. Hua Zixing looked at the eye contact between the two of them. She smiled and clenched her fists. She was jealous of the tacit understanding between them, hated that their hearts were connected, and wanted Shun Yin's love. Has the news been blocked? Shun Yin asked her. Hua Zixing came back to her senses and felt a little uncomfortable. She lowered her eyes and said gently, It's been blocked. Secretariat Jiang wanted to inform you, but I called him and he asked me to pass the message to you. I trust him. Let's go to the Zeng family first. Call Bureau Chief Zhao. I'll call Baya. Also, call Lung Xiuzuan. He's an expert in solving cases. Zidan, you stay at home. The two of us will be too big of a target. Lu Shuang, you follow us. Shunyan said concisely. Hua Zixing frowned. Are you sure you want to call Baya? Baya is now in the limelight. If she participates, I'm afraid it will cause even greater public opinion. She is indeed in the limelight. In other words, she is the fuse for Minister Zeng's death. However, she is also the least likely person to kill Minister Zeng, Shunyan said in a low voice. But what about Lady Zeng? Lady Zeng is a little shrewish, and she hates Baya. If Baya goes, I'm afraid there will be more problems. Baya's personality isn't that easy to bully. Perhaps we could see another good show. It's decided, Shunyan said in a strong tone. No one could refute him. Hua Zixing didn't say anything else. She nodded. I'll be at home. If you have any other orders, you can call me immediately. Lu Shuang, get dressed and let's go, Shunyan said. Oh. Lu Shuang thought about the identity of his assistant. He chose a suit and put it on. It was a little cold outside, so he put on a thick windbreaker. Hua Zixing smiled and went forward to help Lu Shuang adjust his collar. She felt uncomfortable letting Hua Zixing help her. She smiled and said, Thank you. You're actually older than me. You don't have to thank me. Put on a scarf before you go out. It's cold outside, Hua Zixing instructed. I'll buy a few heat pads on the way. That way I won't feel cold. Lu Shuang said with a smile. She took a scarf and went out. She felt more at ease being with Shunyan. Shunyan also changed his clothes. He was wearing a black suit, a white shirt, a camel-colored windbreaker, and black leather gloves. He looked dignified, but didn't lose the elegance of royalty. This guy, Those who didn't know him would definitely be tempted by his handsome appearance. That smile of his was alluring. She blushed slightly. Feeling that she was being a little pretentious, she cleared her throat and walked behind him. Shen Yin looked at her deeply. Lu Shuang couldn't tell what he was looking at, and he didn't say anything. She pushed him hard and widened her eyes. "Why are you looking at me like that? Why is your face so red?" Shen Yin asked with a mischievous smile. Lu Shuang rolled her eyes. "I'm healthy and full of energy. Can't I? Do you want me to face you with a pale face?" You must have a guilty conscience," Shen Yin said, as if she knew what he was thinking. "Yeah, I have a guilty conscience. Be careful, in case you die in the middle of the night." Lu Shuang was stubborn and didn't want to admit that he was the reason why she was blushing. Shen Yin pinched the flesh on her face. "Who is this woman? She's so glib." Instantly, Lu Shuang's thoughts went astray. She paused for a moment and stared at him with a strange gaze. Shen Yin knew what she was thinking when he saw her gaze. He knocked her head. "You still need to practice your glib tongue. You're not familiar with it, and it's easy for you to knock your teeth. I'll give you a chance to practice it every day. Is that good for you?" Lu Shuang didn't want to talk to him anymore. "Thank you, but I don't need it. With my skills, I'm already able to dominate the world." "Where did you get the world from?" Shen Yin asked slowly. She really didn't want to talk to him anymore. He was openly looking down on her. Thinking of her, Lu Shuang, when she was in the chicken coop, she was considered to be unique in her own way. She had many pursuers and was brimming with confidence. But when she came to this group of Phoenix Coop, she was really so ugly that she stood out from the rest. She ignored him and walked out. Shen Yin followed behind her happily. "Hey, your minister is dead. Is it appropriate for you to be so happy?" Lu Shuang didn't hold back. Colonel Chung drove over and stopped in front of Shen Yin. "I'll tell you in the car," Shen Yin said. She sat in the back seat and adjusted her clothes. Lu Shuang sat next to him. This guy had long legs and a domineering sitting posture. He took up more than half of the seat. Actually, she was a little domineering. After they got into the car, she purposely squeezed him to the side. Shen Yin wasn't angry at all. He put his arm around her shoulder happily and tapped her nose. "You can't wait. I can't wait to meet your grandfather." Lu Shuang gave him some space. "My grandfather is dead. Even if he's still alive, he's too old and not suitable for you. It's more suitable for you to be impatient," Shen Yin said with a smile. Lu Shuang was defeated by him. This guy had been suppressing her since they were in primary school. He was so eloquent. Was it a necessary skill for a president? "You said we'll talk in the car. What are you talking about?" Lu Shuang changed the topic. Actually, he didn't care. "Haha. Hello, everyone. I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat." Chapter 632. Minister Zeng was a member of Zhuo Qiuani. His death caused a lot of problems, Shen Yin said briefly. And then? A triangle is the most stable relationship. Of course, it also depends on the balance of power. Gu Lingqing, Sheng Dongcheng, and Zhuo Qiuani are the three giants, followed by Su Zheng, Lin Shutong, and the Xing family. After Gu Lingqing's death, the morale of his side was greatly affected. Leng Shuang didn't have the courage. After all, he wasn't like Gu Lingqing, who was born with the complicated relationships cultivated by Gu Tianheng, so he couldn't sit in the position of the three giants. Sheng Dongqing was suppressed by Bai Ye and left his position. Although he still has some connections, he has been greatly damaged. Now only Zhuo Qiuani is in the position of the three giants. Zhuo Qiuani is the only one. If we don't suppress him and let him develop, he will be the next president in the next election. Shen Yin said seriously. He said solemnly with a cold glint in his eyes. After listening, Lu Shuang's heart also thumped. If the next president is not you, what will you do? How will the previous emperors treat their predecessors? When the ambition is still there, imprisonment is the most comfortable. After all, I am still in that position. For the people's livelihood and various international statuses, my life can be saved. But the forces behind me, their result, maybe death is the best for them. Death is the best for them, Shen Yin said solemnly. Lu Shuang felt uncomfortable. He felt a chill when he thought of his fate of being imprisoned within the walls until his death. He was still so young, so talented, so scary. You shouldn't have been the president. Shen Yin glanced at him. Don't forget that my father was the last president. If I didn't do it, those who worked hard for us would have long been dead. And my father's death is also to help and stabilize my position, so I can't let his death down. Lu Shuang's heart was heavy. Some things were complicated. The more complicated something was, the more confident she was that she wouldn't think about it. It would give her a headache. Shen Yin held her hand. Now, do you understand why I wanted to marry Hua Zixing? Actually, I've always wanted to marry you. Can I refuse? I don't like being imprisoned in a high wall, Lu Shuang said softly. Shen Yin's gaze turned cold, as if it had become a vast expanse of desolation. If I fail, I will arrange for you to leave. Don't worry, I won't affect your freedom. He let go of her hand and looked ahead coldly with a long face. Seeing that he was angry, she felt very, very uncomfortable. She was worried, afraid, guilty, and sympathetic. She was used to being free and wild. Although her family was not as well off as Shen Yin's, her parents treated her like a little princess. She had no responsibilities or burdens. She only needed to be happy as she pleased. She had never been restricted. His eyes were poked blind, and there were signs of suffocation. The details will have to be confirmed by the forensic doctor. There was also a piece of paper in his mouth. On the paper, it was written, "This secret will disappear. The secret will disappear." His hands were tied behind his back, and he was lying on the ground. The room is like a secret chamber, Shen Yin said. It's a bit like the previous case, but it's an upgrade. That kind of death can't be suicide. We are keeping the scene. Come take a look. Investigating the scene is not my strength. My strength is in criminal psychology. By you rejected politely. I will ask Lung Xiaozuan to come and cooperate with you. This case may involve Zhuo Qiuni. I think the possibility of Zhuo Qiuni killing someone is very high. Moreover, the motive is very likely to be unknown to us. Don't you want to bring him down? I think you're the most suitable person to do it. What do you think? Shen Yin simply made it clear. Bai was a smart person. There is no need to beat around the bush when talking to smart people. Chapter 633. The head of the Ministry of Education was murdered. It's expected. He knows too many secrets. Zhuo Qiuni won't let him go to court. Xing Buhua and Shen Yin had the same opinion. His death is very special. Maybe we can find some clues this time. Bai thought. You don't have to do it. There will be professionals. Shen Yin is using you as a tool. He wants to kill with a borrowed knife, and you are the knife in the open. Shen Yin wants to reshuffle the cards. Zhuo Qiuni and Sheng Dongsheng are birds of a feather. Shen Yin, being the president, is the safest for us. Even if I have to use a knife, I will kill the devil. That is our future. Baya made up her mind. Xing Buhua looked at Baya. He knew her character after spending so much time with her. No, he had known her for at least 5 years since she appeared in his dream. So, he knew her character very well. Otherwise, he wouldn't have impersonated Gu Lingxing. He was afraid that she would commit suicide. He smiled. Leave the Ministry of Environment and the Health and Medical Department to me. When I have collected all the evidence, I will let your internet company do its best. Okay, then I will go out for a while. I won't be back early today. Baya said softly and stood up. Xing Buhua hugged her. He knew that she was going to leave. Even if it was not under her watch for a few hours, he would be reluctant. I will wait here for you to come back. Take care of yourself. Your health and safety are the most important to me. Baya nodded. I will. Also, don't spread the news of Minister Zheng's death. Xing Buhua thought of something. His expression became serious. In the end, he didn't say it out loud. He just nodded. Baya went to Minister Zheng's house accompanied by Lin Shulan and Zhang Xingyu. Minister Zheng's house was an independent villa located on a small mound. The so-called small mound was man-made. The house was surrounded by greenery, which surrounded the house in the middle. It was very hidden and very quiet. When she arrived, Lung Qiaozuan was already there. He went into the bedroom to investigate the scene. Shen Yin and Lu Shuang stayed in the living room. Other than them, Chief Zhao and Zhua Chuani were also there. They were all talking to Lady Zhang. Regardless of whether the others were on the lookout or in the dark, they were all standing guard outside. As soon as Baya walked in, her eyes met Lu Shuang's. Lu Shuang looked away awkwardly. Baya sighed. She didn't have many friends, and there were even fewer people who could get close to her. Lu Shuang was one of them. She thought he was a friend and someone she owed. She walked towards Shen Yin and nodded. I'll go in first then. Shen Yin nodded. Lady Zheng lowered her head. For a moment, she didn't see Baya. Even if she saw her, she wouldn't know her. She knew someone called Baya, but Baya lived in seclusion and rarely showed her face. But the cuts on Department Head Zheng's face went from deep to shallow, and the muscles were almost undamaged. He purposely imitated the previous sensational case just to confuse us, Baya explained. A strange light flashed in Lung Qiuzuan's eyes. His reasoning was very strong, but Baya was a doctor in the past. In some aspects, he was indeed not as good as her. I solved the trap in the secret room. What about you? Lung Qiuzuan asked. Baya looked up at the ceiling of the bathroom. No one has been to the partition for a long time, so it should be covered in dust. If someone had been there, they should be able to see it immediately. After the murderer killed someone, he hid on top. Lady Zheng would also enter the room after washing the dishes. She would shout a few times, but no one would answer. Then, she would think of a way to open the door. Once she opened the door and saw the situation in the room, she would collapse. When she was on the phone, the person hiding would leave the room. Lung Qiuzuan nodded. I've checked it. There are traces of someone being here. Do you think there are still surveillance cameras here? Baya asked. After the president's men knew about this, they immediately went to the security surveillance room and took away all the tapes, including the computer and hard disk, Lung Qiuzuan said. Chapter 634. Are there any signs of the house being flipped? Baya asked Lung Qiuzuan. No, I'm sure about that. Isn't the murderer worried about the evidence? If he was worried about the evidence, he would have searched everywhere, right? Baya asked suspiciously. In this case, the murderer is confident that he has the evidence, or the evidence is what Minister Zheng wanted to say. Now that he's dead, no one knows about this secret, Lung Qiuzuan guessed. If that's the case, as Minister Zheng's lover, he should be in danger. Since he killed Minister Zheng, why didn't he kill Lady Zheng as well? Baya was surprised. She scanned the room again and had a bad feeling. Could it be that Minister Zheng wasn't killed to silence him, but because of a grudge? Lung Qiuzuan guessed. If there was a grudge, it would be too much of a coincidence to kill Minister Zheng when he was about to go to prison. Also, it's too much of a coincidence that Minister Zheng was so calm. Baya looked at Minister Zheng's body indifferently. Such a strange way of killing. Who was it for? A strange light flashed in Baya's eyes. Not good. Get the Internet Management Department to monitor the Internet as much as possible. These photos may have been leaked from the scene. Lung Qiuzuan stood still. Are you ordering me? Baya was stunned. She knew Lung Qiuzuan's arrogant personality very well. She walked towards the door. Lung Qiuzuan blocked her way. How do you know they will release the photos? What's in it for them? I don't know what's in it for the time being, but the murderer didn't make Minister Zheng look like he was deliberately trying to confuse us. It's too fake, and we can see it at a glance. But since he did it, he must have a purpose, and that purpose is to create a sensation. A strange death. Minister Zheng's identity is a point of attention. What's the purpose of attention? Is it a show of force to the police? Aren't there still contradictions? Lung Qiuzuan was strict. No matter what their true motives are, we must stop whatever they want in order to prevent things from getting worse. Baya said solemnly. He walked out and said to Shen Yin, hurry up and find someone to monitor the Internet. I'm worried they'll post it online. Nonsense. If they wanted to do that, they would have done it long ago. Why would they wait until now? Director Zhao refuted immediately. That's because we haven't arrived yet. If I'm not wrong, they have been observing us from nearby. When we arrive and they feel that the time is right, they will release the news and tell the media who is coming. Baya explained. Guess? Do you rely on guessing when you do things? Women always think that their sixth intuition is very accurate. If their intuition is accurate, why do they need us policemen? Chief, Zhao said bluntly. His cell phone rang. But he couldn't be bothered with him. It was too tiring to argue with him. He was obstinate and self-righteous. Hurry up and give the order. Otherwise, it'll be too late, Bai said to Shen Yin. Shen Yin nodded. In some aspects, he still trusted Bai. He believed in Bai's wisdom. He saw Chief Zhao hang up the phone with a bad expression. He looked at Shen Yin and said, "Someone posted the photo online. It's very detailed. They even took a photo of us coming over." "You idiot. Why didn't you believe what my wife said?" "Now it's great." Lin Shulan scolded. "Shulan, don't be rude. Since things have come to this, scolding is useless," Bai ordered. Lin Shulan immediately shut up. Lu Shuang looked at Bai with admiration. Bai was really the person she admired the most. It was in the past, and it was still the same. Why didn't she have such a good brain? Lung Qiuzuan was also surprised. He was the second-best judge. Not many people dare to challenge him. However, after working together with Bai a few times, he felt inferior. "What do you think we should do now?" Shen Yin asked Bai. "There are no signs of the house being searched. Department head Zeng thinks he can sit back and relax. The other party isn't afraid of being exposed. From the way he killed, it seems to be a professional. It's different from ordinary people. There's a very powerful person behind him. He already has everything under control. He even predicted that we would come. We will investigate the case. According to our normal procedure, the next step is..." Bai looked at Lady Zeng. Madame Zeng had already stopped crying. She lowered her head, and her hand that was holding the napkin was trembling. Bai's eyes narrowed, and a sharp glint flashed across her eyes. "Control her." Zhang Xingyu and Lin Shulan rushed over, arrested Lady Zeng. "How dare you? Who gave you the right to kidnap someone in front of our eyes?" "Bai, don't go overboard," Zhuoquni shouted and stood up. Lady Zeng looked at Zhuoquni. Zhuoquni glanced at Lady Zeng. "Say what you want to say. Cover her mouth." "It's not the time for her to speak," Bai ordered. Lin Shulan followed Bai's lead. He immediately covered Lady Zeng's mouth. "Bai, you don't get along with Minister Zeng. Don't tell me you're trying to stop Lady Zeng from speaking because of the murder?" Zhuoquni said angrily. "It's not that I don't get along with Minister Zeng. I'm just punishing the evil and promoting the good. I've already obtained the facts of Minister Zeng's crimes. I've also submitted them to the police and the parliament. These crimes are enough for Minister Zeng to be sentenced to death. Why would I do something unnecessary and get myself involved in a lawsuit? Anyone can kill Minister Zeng. Even I can't." "Zhuotong, what made you so irrational?" Bai asked calmly. "It's not that I'm irrational. Why did you treat Lady Zeng like that in front of us? Even if her husband committed a crime, his family wouldn't be implicated. Moreover, her husband is dead now," Zhuoquni said sternly. "I did that because someone installed a pinhole camera in our room." "Zhuotong, do you really want the content of our conversation to be posted on the internet before it's verified and censored? That way, it'll become the public's baseless speculation. The truth will be revealed to the public once it's verified. But before it's verified, it'll only cause panic and unrest. Isn't that right?" Zhuotong, Bai asked. Zhuoquni's face darkened. "You're saying that there's a surveillance camera in our room?" "Director Zhao, investigate," Shen Yin ordered. "Yes," Director Zhao instructed. Chapter 635. "Indeed. Otherwise, I wouldn't have asked you to assist in the investigation," Shen Yin agreed. "We can't continue with the interrogation today. The murderer is lurking not far away, and the room is filled with cameras. The investigation will waste a lot of time. There might even be a bomb. It's late now, and everyone's physical and mental state isn't good. I suggest we continue the interrogation tomorrow." "Mr. President, what do you think?" Bai asked seriously. "All right. The main thing now is to deal with the matters on the internet. As for the rest, we'll set a time for the meeting tomorrow." "Zhuotong, what do you think?" Shen Yin asked Zhuoquni. Zhuoquni looked embarrassed. He smiled and said, "Miss Bai, firstly, you're not from the government, and secondly, You're not from the police station. Lady Zeng is the most important witness now. It's not appropriate for you to bring her back. With all due respect, Minister Zeng is your subordinate. Many people will think that Minister Zeng was killed because he knew something unknown to you. Of course, I don't really believe in rumors. After all, in this world, many people aren't as smart as you, Zwatong. Zwatong should avoid this taboo, right? It's taboo, isn't it? Baya said indifferently. Her expression was calm, graceful, and calm. Zwichuni blushed and raised his voice. I don't want to take her back, but I'm worried about you. Worried about me for what? Baya asked back with a smile. Zwichuni was speechless. He paused for 3 seconds and said, Do you dare to issue a military order? If anything happens to Lady Zeng, you'll be fully responsible. Baya smiled. She was still calm. Why should I issue a military order? Then you can't guarantee her safety. Zwichuni pointed at Baya. Some people want to silence her. Who do you think can guarantee her safety? Baya said deliberately. From the corner of her eyes, she saw that Mrs. Zeng, who had been struggling, had calmed down quite a bit. She continued, At least my husband's dark shadows are currently loyal to me. I believe you have all heard what kind of existence the dark shadows are. They are loyal to the country and the people. They are the elites of the special forces. As long as it is right, they will not hesitate to sacrifice their lives. I can say that even my people can't guarantee Lady Zeng's safety, let alone your people. You're a woman. How could you privately form a team like this? Isn't that a violation of military discipline? Zwichuni pointed out the main point. I'm just telling you about their abilities. They're not soldiers anymore. They're just security guards I hired. Is that okay with you, Zwatong? Baya said frankly. Zwichuni was speechless, but he was still unwilling to give up. He said coldly, You're so eloquent. You don't have to stoop to the level of a woman. Shini Yin smiled. Since Zwatong doesn't have any objections, I don't have any either. Let Baya bring them back first. We'll discuss the details during the meeting tomorrow. I only brought my assistant here. I don't have anyone with me at the moment. I hope Mr. President can lend me some people first, Baita said cautiously. Shin Ian nodded. I'll give you a team, but after I send you to your place, to prevent people from gossiping, my people will withdraw. Is that okay? Baya nodded. All right. She walked out. Zhang Xingyu and Lin Shulan worked together to bring Lady Zeng to the car. Zhang Xingyu drove the car. Baya sat in the front passenger seat while Lin Shulan and Lady Zeng sat together. After the car started moving, Baya turned to look at Lady Zeng. She instructed Lin Shulan, You can untie her now. You're Baya? Lady Zeng glared at Baya and questioned her. She didn't expect Baya to be such a beautiful lady. She was the prettiest girl she had ever seen. In terms of aura, she was even stronger than Hua Zixing. Baya didn't even look at her. She looked straight ahead and said leisurely, I advise you to lower your head now. Otherwise, when your head gets blown up, your son won't be able to live either. Lady Zeng's face turned pale. How do you know about my son? Are you in cahoots with Zwichuni? I didn't figure out at first, but after seeing Zwichuni's sudden rage, I figured it out. This murder was probably a setup, right? Baya said with certainty. Lady Zeng leaned on the chair. Her eyes were filled with fear. How did you know? How did you know everything? At first, I thought that your husband was silenced because he was very relaxed before he died. He even had the time to eat crabs that were hard to handle. But your house wasn't ransacked, and the murderer was still able to post the photos on the internet. He wasn't afraid of the matter getting out of hand. Then, it wasn't as simple as silencing someone. Then, he heard Zwichuni say, What I want you to say. He roughly knew that this was a trap. Not only did it expose the case, but it also made people think that you were killed. Even if your testimony was not true, it would still cause a lot of commotion. Your testimony can't be against me, because I'm not an absolute threat to Zwichuni. I'm guessing that your testimony might be about Shun Yin. Then, it's possible that Shun Yin killed him to silence him. Baya analyzed slowly. Lady Zeng's face turned pale. Are you a demon? You're too scary. You're a monster. Monsters eat people, but I don't. On the contrary, I'm saving you. Have you ever thought about what will happen if you frame Shun Yin? Baya looked at her and asked. Lady Zeng said defensively. He said that he will let me and my son go abroad and give us a sum of money so that we can live a carefree life. Baya laughed. That's because you don't understand Zhuochuani. You helped him frame Shun Yin. Shun Yin has an invisible hand. Moreover, Shun Yin has a lot of forces that you can't imagine. To Zhuochuani, letting you live is like letting a time bomb beside him. It's enough to blow him up. Lady Zeng was in a daze for a moment. She thought for a while. You think that Zhuochuani will kill me and my son? I don't think it's useful. The key is you. What do you think? Lady Zeng's body trembled as she thought about it. Every word that Baya said hit her heart. Zhuochuani said that my husband is finished. He will never be able to get out of prison. He might even be sentenced to death. My son and I won't have a good life in the future. Moreover, when I thought about how he found a university student outside, I was angry at him. I also thought that he might as well let me and my son be. That day, my son was taken away by Zhuochuani. I went home happily and said that the matter had been resolved. I knew that it was time for him to die. Chapter 636. But if he doesn't die today, my son and I will be the ones who will die. When I was washing the dishes in the kitchen, I received a message from Zhuochuani. He told me that if anyone asks me about any secrets, I should testify against the president and say that he has an illegitimate child. Lady Zeng told Baya everything she knew. Baya's eyes glinted. That was close. If it was revealed that Shun Yin had an illegitimate child, not only would Shun Yin be in deep trouble, but Lu Xuan would also be in danger. She could not let anything happen to Lu Xuan. Are you willing to testify against Zhuochuani? Baya asked. Can you protect me and my son? Lady Zeng begged. Baya thought about it seriously. She was not a person who would make irresponsible promises. She had to do what she promised. Otherwise, she would not be able to eat or sleep well if she kept it in her heart. She had even thought of a plan to save Lady Zeng's son. Sure, I will do my best, but I want you to change your statement. You say that it was Zhuochuani who instructed you to frame Su Zheng. He asked you to say that Su Zheng had something to do with the framing of Gu Lingqing's uncle. Huh, is that so? Lady Zeng thought for a while and nodded. Baya, actually, old Zeng knows about Zhuochuani's secret. It has something to do with Gu Lingqing. It has something to do with Lingqing. Baya was shocked. Lady Zeng was about to speak when Baya saw a flash of light and a loud bang. She saw the explosion from the corner of her eyes and instinctively hid behind the chair. But the scene was too terrifying. It was as if it was frozen in her mind. She did not come back to her senses for 3 seconds. Zhang Xingyu braked and shouted anxiously, Madam, are you all right? Baya came back to her senses. I'm fine. Just want to see how Lady Zeng is doing. She turned around and saw that Lady Zeng was badly mutilated. Her face was unrecognizable, and half of her head was gone. She probably couldn't survive. She really didn't expect Zhuochuani to put a bomb in her mouth. It was probably on her teeth. Fortunately, the car was modified and made of titanium steel. Even if it exploded, as long as she hid behind the chair, it wouldn't affect her. Zhang Xingyu shouted worriedly, Lin Shulan. Baya's heart tightened. Lin Shulan was sitting behind her, and she couldn't see him. But thinking about it, she was protected by a chair, but Lin Shulan wasn't. She quickly got off the car and opened the back door. Half of Lin Shulan's body was blasted into a bloody mess, and he had already lost consciousness. Shulan, 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 Baya shouted anxiously. Zhang Xingyu ran over. Madam, please get on the car as soon as possible. It's too dangerous to be exposed to the air. I'm fine. Send Shulan to the hospital as soon as possible. She must be saved. We can't let anything happen to her. Baya ordered. Her eyes were red. I have to ensure Madam's safety. Madam, please get on the car first. Zhang Xingyu opened the car door and looked around cautiously. Shun Yin's car arrived at the same time. Baya tried her best to calm herself down. She had to look at the bigger picture. At this moment, she couldn't be a burden. She got in the car and closed the door. She took a deep breath. Zhang Xingyu, check the surveillance cameras. Are they still useful? Zhang Xingyu immediately checked the surveillance cameras installed at the back of the car. They're all destroyed. What about the memory card? Zhang Xingyu showed it to Baya. The memory card was burnt too. Baya furrowed her eyebrows. Lady Zeng was dead, and the truth was not captured. The good thing was that Zhuo Qiuan's plan was ruined. Shen Yin was safe for the time being, and Lu Shuang was fine. But for Baya, Shirlan was injured too. She felt a pain in her heart. After all, Shirlan was her subordinate. Get in the car first. Drive to the nearest hospital. I'll call Lung Xiao now and ask him to prepare the best doctor, Baya ordered. Yes. Zhang Xingyu got into the car. Shen Yin's men came over and asked, "What happened? I saw fire just now. Was it an explosion?" "Someone planted a bomb in Lady Zheng's mouth. My men were injured. We need to go to the hospital now. There's no time to waste. Ask the forensic doctor to go to the hospital directly," Baya ordered. Yes. Zhang Xingyu drove to the hospital immediately. Baya made a call. "Lung Xiao, there's an accident. Zhuo Qiuan planted a bomb in Lady Zheng's body. Shirlan is injured now. We'll arrive at the First People's Hospital in about 5 minutes. Tell the doctors there to get ready." "Okay, I'll call them immediately. Do you know who killed Minister Zeng?" Lung Xiao asked curiously. "Zhuo Qiuan, I had already gotten the evidence, and the surveillance cameras had captured it. But now the surveillance cameras have been destroyed. It's all my fault. I should have installed a remote surveillance camera. Now, the memory sticks are all burnt. I don't know if the technical department can restore it." Baya was annoyed. Lung Xiao knew that Baya didn't do it on purpose. Baya was good at planning, and the other party was not easy to deal with. He comforted her. "Since we're here, let's take things as they come. Zhuo Qiuan is very cunning. He's more low-key than Sheng Dongcheng, but he's more shrewd than Sheng Dongcheng. He's also very popular. He's more difficult to deal with than Sheng Dongcheng. We have to be more careful next time. That's all for now. I'll call the hospital," Lung Xiao said and hung up the phone. The smell of burnt meat filled the air in the car. It was a disgusting smell. Baya closed his eyes and endured the uncomfortable feeling. Lady Zeng said that Minister Zeng knew about Zhuo Qiuan's secret. This secret was related to Gu Lingqing. What was it about? Minister Zeng must have threatened Zhuo Qiuan about this. That was why Zhuo Qiuan comforted him on the surface, but killed him behind his back. Moreover, the bomb that Lady Zeng mentioned could be remotely controlled. Zhuo Qiuan didn't kill Lady Zeng when she said that he was behind the scenes. Instead, he detonated the bomb when Lady Zeng was about to tell the secret. The bomb was detonated in time. So, besides the bomb, Lady Zeng said that there was also a monitoring device. What secret was it that made Zhuo Qiuan so nervous? Was he related to the death of Gu Lingqing's father? She had a headache thinking about it. She couldn't think of any connection. Because she couldn't think of it, she felt that there must be a big secret in it. Her phone rang. It was Shen Yin. She answered. "What happened? Lady Zeng is dead? Did you get anything out of her?" Shen Yin asked anxiously. "It was Zhuo Qiuan who killed Lady Zeng. Zhuo Qiuan is now controlling Lady Zheng's son. You'd better save Lady Zheng's son as soon as possible. He is in danger now. Zhuo Qiuan is a cautious person. Since he killed Lady Zeng, there is no need to keep Lady Zheng's son alive. I asked him for his son now, but he refused. I can't do anything to him," Shen Yin explained. "Zhuo Qiuan's target is you," Baya reminded her. "I guessed it." Shen Yin wasn't surprised. Zhuo Qiuan was the only one among the three who still had his strength. His target was the position of the president. Before the other two came to their senses, they would definitely deal with him. "Hello, everyone. I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat." Chapter 637. You'd better be careful. Zhuo Qiuan asked Lady Zeng to say that you have an illegitimate child. Although he doesn't have any evidence, there's no smoke without fire. I don't want Lu Shuang to be in danger. We've already killed her parents. We can't let her get hurt again, Baya said solemnly. Other than me, Su Jiran and Sheng Dongcheng, the only ones who know about the relationship between Lu Shuang and your Sheng Dongcheng. Su Jiran would have said it long ago if he wanted to. On the other hand, Sheng Dongcheng is a ticking time bomb, Baya said worriedly. He's keeping a low profile now. He won't target me unless it's absolutely necessary. Zhuo Qiuan is the one in danger now. He's too ambitious now. Moreover, It's just the loss of Minister Zeng. It's not a big loss for him, unlike Xing Dongsheng, who has already left the government. Baya understood what he meant. He didn't want to touch Xing Dongsheng for the time being. She was a little annoyed, and they were almost at the hospital. That's all for now. One of my subordinates is injured, and the situation is very serious. We'll discuss it later. She hung up the phone. Zhang Xingyu looked at Baya worriedly. Is the president not going to deal with Xing Dongsheng? He wants to deal with Zhuo Qiuni first. Our people have been following Zhuo Qiuni for a long time and have investigated him for a long time. There's no problem at all. It's not easy to deal with him. Zhang Xingyu was melancholy. Baya remained silent. She was still thinking about Gu Lingqing's secret. Her phone rang. She saw that it was an unknown number. She didn't want to pick it up, but she thought that it might be Xing Buhua. So she picked it up. Are you okay? The people I sent to protect you said that they saw a fire in your car. Are you on the way to the hospital now? Xing Buhua asked worriedly. Hearing that his voice wasn't hoarse, she felt warm in her heart. I'm fine. Something happened to Shulan. She's almost at the hospital now. Don't get out of the car. I'll pick you up right away. Don't come over. It's very dangerous. Also, Lady Zeng said that Minister Zeng died because he knew the secret of Zhuo Qiuni, and this secret is related to you. What kind of secret do you think it is? Baya asked confusedly. He could only ask the person involved. Xing Buhua paused, lowered his eyes, and asked, What is the secret about me? I don't know. Don't come over. Wait here for Shulan to be sent to the emergency room. Lung Xiao will send someone to pick me up. Don't worry. How can I be at ease? Xing Buhua interrupted her. Don't go to the hospital. There are too many people, and it's too chaotic. It's not convenient for an Ing to hide. You'll be in danger. Many people want to kill you now. Just stay in the car and don't move. You can't help. Listen to me, that's all. Before Baya could say anything, he hung up the phone. Baya sighed. When Gu Lingqing became stubborn, she was no match for her, although he had been patient and tolerant enough to her. However, there was also some sweetness in her heart. She knew that he had risked his life to come here because he was worried about her. This was probably the only thing that gave her the courage to continue fighting despite her grief and exhaustion. She wanted to fight for her and Gu Lingqing's future. The bus arrived at the hospital. The doctor and nurse were already waiting at the door with a stretcher. Take care of Shulan. Don't worry about me. The Dark Shadows people are nearby, said Baya to Zhang Xingyu. But the forensic doctor will be here soon. It's not safe for Madame to be alone in the car. Zhang Xingyu was worried. Don't forget that this is a modified car. I'll activate the safety mode later. Don't worry, I know what to do. Hurry up and send her up. Don't delay the treatment, urged Baya. Zhang Xingyu looked at Baya and then at the unconscious Shulan. All right, madam, I'll send her up first. I'll report to you later. Zhang Xingyu carried Lin Shulan, placed her on the stretcher, and pushed the elevator. Baya closed the door and leaned against the chair to take a nap. She didn't know why, but she was especially tired today. There was also a vague sense of uneasiness. She couldn't tell what it was for now. Xing Buhua quickly entered the secret passage. His eyes were sharp as he looked ahead, emitting a murderous aura that could destroy heaven and earth. He had guessed that it was Zhuo Qiuni who killed Minister Zeng. He had also guessed that Zhuo Qiuni was good at killing people with a borrowed knife. The person he wanted to deal with might be Shaniyan. Shaniyan was also on the opposite side to him. It wouldn't do him any harm to weaken Shaniyan's power. Therefore, when Baya left, he didn't say his guess. However, he didn't expect that the person who assassinated Gu Lingqing was Zhuo Qiuni. This should be the secret that Minister Zeng knew. Gu Lingqing was his younger brother. He had to take revenge. Moreover, Zhuo Qiuni dared to hurt the woman he loved the most. He couldn't be forgiven. Are the documents ready? Xing Buhua, I made a call and asked coldly. Almost. Send them to my email. Xing Buhua hung up the phone and sped up. He was eager to see Baya. He was afraid that something had happened to her. When Baya was about to fall asleep, someone knocked on the car window. She glanced at the person's eyes. He was gentle and capable. He wore a white forensic uniform and held a box in his hand. He should be the person called by Shaniyan. She pressed a button and the chair rose up to form a glass cover. protecting her inside. Then, she pressed the remote control and opened the door. The modification of her car cost tens of millions, which was more expensive than the car itself. The forensic doctor was amazed. After a moment of daze, he came into work. Baya leaned back on the chair and continued to rest with her eyes closed. Her phone rang again. She sighed. It was Shunyi. She picked it up and greeted weakly, "Hello. Baya, I need to trouble you with something." Shunyi's tone was solemn. "What's wrong?" "My man is dead. I've confirmed that he is related to the death of Lu Shuang's mother. He was the one who sent someone to assassinate her. I was going to finish him off with a mission, but I didn't expect him to die first. I suspect that there's someone else behind this," Shunyi said solemnly. Baya sat up straight in shock. "Who is it?" "I don't know. Formless reported that he committed suicide. Everyone saw him jump down from the roof. No one pushed him. I thought that he committed suicide to escape punishment. But his grandson just turned 1 month old. Even if he committed suicide to escape punishment, he should have left some last words, right? I just checked the surveillance footage, and it shows that he went up to the rooftop alone and jumped off. Before that, he stayed in his room the whole time. During that time, only his orderly went to the rooftop." Shunyi thought it was strange. What about the communication records? Who did he contact before the accident? Chapter 638. What about the food? Is there a problem? Baya thought. I've sent a plan to pick him up, and the forensic doctor will examine it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the food. I've also investigated the orderlies around him. There's no problem. So, it's more likely that he committed suicide. It doesn't sound like a crime. There's no murderer, no communication records, and no suicide note. But it's really strange. Send the surveillance video to my email. I'll watch it when I get back. You must protect her, Lu Shuang. If anything happens to her, Shunyi, I won't let you go," Baya warned worriedly. "Don't worry. If anything happens to her, the first person I won't let go is myself. As long as I'm alive, I'll protect her with my life. If I die, I'll die before her," Shunyi promised. Baya still believed in Shunyi, just like how she believed that Shunyi loved Lu Shuang. She hoped that Lu Shuang and Debao would have a good ending, so she betrayed Lu Shuang's whereabouts. If things could go back to the past, she wouldn't tell Shunyi about Lu Shuang's whereabouts. At least then, Lu Shuang could live happily with her parents. It didn't matter even if she could never meet and chat with Lu Shuang again. At least, she knew that Lu Shuang was happy. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in the world. She hung up the phone and looked at the forensic doctor. After examining Lady Zheng's body, the forensic doctor put her in a body bag and took her away. The forensic doctor was still collecting the remaining facial tissues at the scene. Baya turned her face away. In fact, Lady Zheng was also a poor woman. She looked glamorous, but her husband cheated on her and raised several college students outside. She must be in pain. The key was that Minister Zheng knew the secret, and she was implicated. She also loved her son, so she promised Zhuochuan. There was nothing wrong with a mother's love. Thinking of this, she picked up her phone and dialed a number. Zhuochuan saw that it was an unknown caller and did not pick up. Baya sent a message over. "I'm Baya. There's something I want to discuss with Zhuotong." Zhuochuan did not reply to the message. Baya continued to call Zhuochuan. This time he picked up. Baya pressed the record button. "Woman, what do you want?" Zhuochuan lost control of his temper and shouted. Baya smiled. There were many reasons for anger in the heart, but the trembling of anger meant that the other party was in fear, which was a good thing for her negotiation. "Actually, I think you should be able to guess what I want. After all, I'm not the only one with Lady Zheng's voice recording on the car," Baya said calmly. Zhuochuan was shocked. "You installed a surveillance camera in your car? If you can install a surveillance camera and a bomb in Lady Zheng's mouth, why can't I install a surveillance camera in my car?" But it's a pity that the surveillance camera in the car was destroyed. Fortunately, I still have a copy of the remote surveillance camera. "Huh," Baya chuckled. "What do you want?" Zhuochuan said in a low voice, trying to suppress his murderous aura, but it leaked through his teeth. "Zhuotong, don't be nervous. If I wanted to send it, I wouldn't have called you. I just wanted to let go of Lady Zheng's son." Baya said calmly. That's it. Zwichiuni obviously didn't believe her. Of course, if you're willing to tell me what Gu Lingqing's secret is, I'll be even happier. But you killed Lady Zheng because of this. I'm worried that I won't be able to live another day if I find out. I don't have any deep hatred with Zhuotong, right? Baya negotiated. You don't have any hatred with me. So why did you mess with Minister Zheng? Don't tell me that you don't know that Minister Zheng is one of my people, Zhuochiuni said sarcastically. I didn't mess with Minister Zheng on purpose. I'm really angry. I was the one who solved that sensational case. It was the torture and murder caused by the education department. I don't think it's wrong for me to expose Minister Zheng. Since Minister Zheng is in the wrong, he should take responsibility, right? Baya asked, what do you want his son for? Zhuochiuni returned to the main topic. Baya chuckled. Didn't you hear my conversation with Lady Zheng? She promised me. Although I didn't have the chance to do it, I should keep my promise and do my best to save her son. Why would you be so kind? Do you want him to testify against me and get my secret from him? Let me tell you, it's too late. He's already been fed to the dogs. Release the recording. You're setting me up on purpose. No one will believe you. Really? What if I recorded the entire conversation we just had? Baya, do you think I'm as stupid as Sheng Dongshen? Your ex-husband recorded it. I've already played the recording on my phone. If you don't believe me, you can listen to it. There's only your voice in the recording. Also, don't you dare try to do anything to me. Otherwise, I'll make sure you die a horrible death. This is the last warning. Zhuochiuni said and hung up the phone angrily. Baya furrowed her brows. She was still done. She didn't manage to save Lady Zheng's son. She sighed and pressed the recording button. Just as Zhuochiuni had said, there was only her voice in the recording. Zhuochiuni's conversation was left blank. She had underestimated Zhuochiuni. The door opened. A man in a furry leather coat and helmet stood in front of her. Follow me. She could tell that it was Gu Lingqing's voice. She unlocked the security settings and got down from her seat. He held her hand, got into his car, and left quickly. Baya looked behind her worriedly. There were a few cars driving over. She made a call. I'm fine. I'm going back to the manor now. Don't worry. Xing Buhua didn't even look at Baya. He looked ahead sharply. Xiaoya, leave the matter of dealing with Zhuochiuni to me. From now on, you can stay at home and take care of your baby. I'm fine. I have something to do. Xing Buhua interrupted her and said angrily, I know that there was an explosion in your car. Do you know that my heart is going to explode on the spot? What if you die? I'm better off dead than alive. But you know that I have things that I have to do. Give me half a year. I'll get rid of Zhuochiuni and Sheng Dongshen. I just hope that you can live well. Haven't we talked about this many times? I want to fight alongside you. Chapter 639. Isn't it because you have a special condition? We'll split the work. You'll do the big things, and you'll do the small things. Isn't that good? Baya said gently. What you're doing now is trivial. You are now directly offending Zhuochiuni and confronting Zhuochiuni head-on. His power and influence are not something you can imagine. How can he still? Xing Buhua paused. He did not finish the word Lingqing. He turned his face away and panted angrily. His chest was heaving violently. Wait. I have so many people protecting me. I'll be fine. Don't be angry. Baya held Xing Buhua's hand. Xing Buhua flung her hand away. It's easier to dodge a spear in the open than an arrow in the dark. If he's bent on killing you, you might be able to dodge it once or twice, but you won't be able to dodge it 100 times. You've seen what his subordinates are capable of. With one slash, your head will be chopped off. You're not alone now. There's even a child. But I'll go crazy if I don't do anything and watch you risk your life outside. I'd rather die with you than live an ignoble life. Baya's eyes were red. In the past, she thought that he was dead and couldn't live on. Every day, her heart ached so much that she couldn't sleep. Even when she did sleep, the time she slept was very short. When she woke up, she felt that there was nothing left to live for. She missed him, missed him, missed him, missed him so much that her heart ached even more. It was painful when she woke up, and it was still painful when she fell asleep. As she slept, she would cry. That feeling, she did not want to experience it again. If I'm going to die, I want to die in front of you. I can't bear to see him die. Promise me, can you? Baya choked and asked. In that instant, it was as though a hammer had smashed into his heart. Trembling violently, he reached out and pressed the back of her neck into his embrace. He knew that if he didn't come out, she would die. He envied Gu Lingqing, and his heart ached for her. Even if it was a lie, even if he was a substitute, he still wanted to take good care of her for the rest of her life. He lowered his head and kissed her on the cheek. It was a heavy kiss. He really wanted time to freeze at this moment. Baya hugged him tightly and closed her eyes. He made up his mind. Baya, I'll pursue you as Xing Buhua, okay? Marry me and let me protect you in the open. No. She looked at him anxiously. I've already confronted Zhuo Chuny head-on. You're in the dark now. If you're not related to me, they won't be afraid of you. At most, they'll think that you look like Gu Lingqing. If you're in contact with me, they'll easily think that you're Gu Lingqing. Baya analyzed rationally. So be it. It doesn't matter. Come at me if you're capable. Lingqing, a little impatience will spoil great plans. We have to think about our future. So, we can't make any mistakes. Actually, it's good now. Although Zhuo Chuny hates me, he won't kill me. His current focus is on dealing with Shaniyan. Baya tried to persuade him. So, Shaniyan is very smart. He'll let you be the target so that he can hide in the back without any worries. How can Zhuo Chuny not understand? I'll tell Zhuo Chuny now that I've got the recording of Lady Zeng testifying against him. But if I don't send it out, he'll let down his guard against me. Moreover, it's not that easy for him to kill me. On the contrary, if he makes a single mistake, all his efforts will be in vain. Baya tried to persuade Xing Buhua. Xing Buhua's eyes were as deep as obsidian. Zhuo Chuny hired someone to assassinate Lingqing. He had a guilty conscience. No matter how good Baya's disguise was, he wouldn't let down his guard. He hated Su Jiran and Alan. He always felt that they were eyeing Baya. But for Baya's safety, he had to abandon his jealousy. Her safety was the most important thing to him. Xiaoya, you're fine. They're afraid of you now. One of the reasons is that you're Gu Lingqing's wife. If you can find another boyfriend, they'll let down their guard against you. Xing Buhua said earnestly, I won't find anyone but you. It's fake. It's just to make them let down their guard against you. Xing Buhua held her shoulders. I don't want to lie and hurt other people's feelings just to save my life. Baya refused. Because she had been hurt before, she always remembered not to hurt others, especially those who loved her. I'll arrange it for you. They know that you're pretending, so they won't fall in love with you. You don't have to hurt or lie to other people's feelings. How about this? Besides, with their cover, it'll be easier for us to meet, and we won't be limited to this place. Xing Buhua persuaded her. She didn't have to lie or hurt them. If that was the case, it was fine. Okay, but I'm pregnant. Want to be deliberate to find a boyfriend? Baya was worried. I'll arrange it. After all, you and Gu Lingqing haven't been in public for a long time. It's normal that you don't have a deep relationship. Xing Buhua rubbed Baya's hair. Baya nodded. She was a little tired. Go to sleep. I'll wake you up when we reach the manor, Xing Buhua said softly and put on his helmet. Don't let anyone recognize you. It's very dangerous. Leave after you send me to the manor. Don't come tonight. You'll be very tired too. Too tired. Your brain won't work, and your body won't listen to you, Baya said, feeling sorry for him. Okay, I'll go back after I send you to the manor. I'll look for you tomorrow when I'm free. I have something to tell them to do when I get back, Xing Buhua replied. He drove the car and returned to the surveillance room. Baya closed her eyes and fell asleep soon. Xing Buhua drove to the manor. The manor security guard came out immediately. He lowered his voice and ordered, Your wife is asleep. Find a car to send her back. Yes. The security guard immediately went to drive the car. Baya was a light sleeper. When she opened her eyes, she saw the manor. She stretched her neck. She only slept for half an hour, but she felt very energetic. I'll go down now, she said to Xing Buhua. Don't stay up late today. You're pregnant. Take care of yourself, Xing Buhua said, feeling sorry for her. Baya nodded. You rest early too. Good night. Okay, Xing Buhua replied. He only drove off after she got into the car. When Baya returned to the empty room, She thought of Lin Shulan's condition. Her heart sank. She called Zhang Xingyu. How's Shulan? The surgery was successful. Her life is not in danger. However, half of her face is badly damaged. I'm worried that she won't be able to take it when she wakes up, Zhang Xingyu said worriedly. Tell her that I'll find the best plastic surgeon for her. I guarantee that she won't be uglier than before. Tell her to be at ease. The most important thing is to stabilize her emotions. Once she's stable, she'll recover easily. Tell her not to worry about me. I'm fine. Tell her to rest well, Baiya said. Okay, madam, I suddenly have an idea. I wonder if it's right? Zhang Xingyu said hesitantly. Go ahead. Could Lady Zhang be trying to say that President Gu's assassination has something to do with Zhuqiuni? Hello everyone, I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 640. Xing Buhua told her that the assassination was just his plan. She had suspected that Xing Buhua wasn't Gu Lingqing many times in the past, but now she didn't want to doubt it anymore. If Gu Lingqing wasn't him, then where did Gu Lingqing go? She didn't dare to think about it. As a psychologist, she actually had troubles that others didn't have because she knew human nature too well. She knew that people would subconsciously reject pain. Sometimes, when the truth came out, people would choose to believe the side that they wanted to believe with their subjective beliefs and biases. She was no exception. Zhang Xingyu, Lingqing is by my side now. I trust him more than anyone else. There are some things that have no basis, so don't let your imagination run wild. It won't help your judgment, and it's easy to get stuck in a dead end. We'll think about the secret that Lady Zhang told us later. The most important thing now is to relieve the trauma, and I don't want to lose any of you because of me, Baiya said earnestly. Understood, madam, Zhang Xingyu replied sincerely. Baiya hung up the phone. She didn't feel like working today, so she took a shower, laid on the bed, and fell asleep. She dreamed of Gu Lingqing. In the dream, he just looked at her deeply and didn't say a word. But her heart hurt, and the pain was deep in her bones. She rushed over and hugged him, but she couldn't hug him. She was very sad, and she knelt on the ground, looking at him, tears flowing out of her eyes. Don't leave me. Don't go. He seemed to be crying too, and his eyes were very moist. He walked towards her reluctantly. She grabbed his clothes. Don't leave me. If you must leave, let's go together. I'm very lonely. She was so sad that she cried out loud. Gu Lingqing still didn't say a word. He stroked her head and sighed. Baiya watched as he slowly disappeared in front of her. No! She shouted hysterically. She was so sad that she opened her eyes. Her face was full of tears. In her blur, she saw Gu Lingqing sitting by her bed and looking at her with pity. She impulsively hugged him and said pitifully, I dreamed that you left. Xing Buhua looked at her deeply and comforted her softly. I won't go. This is just a dream. Dreams and reality are opposite. If you really want to leave, you must take me with you, no matter if it's life or death. I don't want to live alone. I don't have a father. I don't have a mother. I only have you. We have children. Baiya cried. She didn't know why she was breaking down today. She knew that she had let little Yin down. Ever since little Yin was born, she had never fulfilled her responsibilities as a mother. She used to hate Bai Bing, but at least when she was young, when Bai Bing wanted to leave, she also cut her wrist. She also wanted to take her away. She knew that in the eyes of others, this was a kind of mental behavior. She would be spurned and insulted by others. They scolded that her mother didn't even let go of her own daughter. She didn't understand it before and felt cold in her heart. Now she understood. Bai Bing didn't want her to suffer in this world. She didn't want her to live alone. She was also worried that others would bully her after she died. She had a hard life. Little Yin, she had adoptive parents. Her adoptive parents did better than her. They loved little Yin with all their love. She was really a failure and a coward. She was not as strong as she thought. I'm sorry. Baiya choked with sobs. When she was young, she liked a writer named San Mao. San Mao's life was not very lucky. When she was about to marry her boyfriend died. Later, she met He Shi and lived with her husband for a few years. They loved each other very much. Unfortunately, Her husband also fell in love when he was very young. Her husband died. She promised her parents that she would live well and take care of them. However, only she knew the lonely and painful days of missing them every day. She wrote a confession. She was sorry to her parents. She broke her promise for the first time and chose to commit suicide. Really, outsiders thought that this woman was so insensible. However, only she knew the insomnia she suffered every day. She couldn't live without Gu Lingqing. She couldn't live without him. Xingbuhua hugged her and sighed. Live well. I'm sorry. She could only say this. She looked at him with tears in her eyes and said intermittently, Gu Lingqing, tell me, you're really Gu Lingqing. Don't lie to me. How could she not think of the things that Zhang Xingyu could think of? This was the most reasonable point. However, she really didn't want to believe it. Xingbuhua looked at her deeply and nodded. If I'm not Gu Lingqing, who am I? He touched her hand and placed it on her face. Feel it. My face hasn't changed. My voice hasn't changed. I had to change my personality. After everything is settled, I'll be Gu Lingqing. Haven't we already done a paternity test? I can get Xiao Yin back and do it again for you. Baya shook her head and hugged him tightly again. She closed her eyes. I believe you. As long as you say it, I'll believe it. Xingbuhua caressed her back. All right, it's almost dawn. You should rest well. Our child still needs to sleep. Baya's eyes were red. She let go of Xingbuhua and lay on the side. She patted the spot beside her. Don't leave tonight. You should rest for a while, too. I told you not to come, but you still came. I don't want you to work so hard. Fortunately, I came. Otherwise, what should I do if you cry like this? Xingbuhua said helplessly. I just had a nightmare, Baya explained. Go to sleep. I'll leave after you fall asleep. There's still a lot of things to do today, Xingbuhua said gently. Sigh. Baya sighed. I'm sorry. I made you worry. Xingbuhua chuckled. It's good that there's someone worth worrying about in my heart. Only then will I have motivation. Baya closed her eyes. Actually, she wanted him to drop everything and leave with her. But she knew that it would be useless even if she said it. It would only be a burden to Gu Lingqing. If Gu Lingqing wanted to drop everything and leave, he would tell her. Tired from crying, she fell asleep in a daze. Xingbuhua covered her with the blanket before getting up and walking towards the secret passage. His phone vibrated. He saw that it was a call from the research team. He picked it up immediately. What's wrong? Mr. Xing, Mr. Gu's heart rhythm is irregular and his blood pressure is low. If he doesn't wake up soon, he might not even be able to stay in a vegetative state. I don't care what methods you use. You must ensure that he stays alive. If he dies, I'll bury all of you with him, Xingbuhua said irrationally. Chapter 641. However, that team is not official and usually doesn't take on orders. They took on the agent because he was the only one who knew the password and the president was there. They might not take on Mr. Gu. No matter how much money it takes, get them to take it. If it doesn't work, kidnap all the people in their research team, Xingbuhua ordered domineeringly. The key is that we don't know where they are or where we can find their contact. It's a very secretive organization. The other party was in a difficult position. Then go find them. Isn't there the president? The president should know. No matter what method you use, find it for me. Xingbuhua ordered. The next day, Lu Shuang woke up and saw that Shun Yin was no longer by his side. He didn't wake her up. She sat on the bed in a daze for a while. It was almost the new year, but Shun Yin was even busier. Many things had happened around her recently. The resignation of the finance minister, the death of the education minister, and finally finding out that the person who assassinated her was the invisible Colonel Tang. But Colonel Tang had committed suicide yesterday. Was it because many things happened around the president, or was Shun Yin unlucky this year? Her mood was also heavy, and she was unspeakably unhappy and depressed. She got up from the bed and went into the bathroom to brush her teeth. When she went downstairs, she heard Nan Gongyu say to Hua Zixing, Madam, for the sake of the president, you should tell him. I believe he knows what he's doing, Hua Zixing said gently. Many men are arrogant. Do you want him to walk the same path as the former French president? Nan Gongyu was worried. I don't allow you to talk nonsense. Ian has enough things to deal with now. I don't want him to be upset. Besides, that's the president of another country. He can't represent Shunyan. Hua Zixing was angry. Rome wasn't built in a day. Although Mr. President is not the former president of France, this is a warning. When he is in his position, he is fine. But if he steps down from his position, he'll be dead. How can a president get divorced in 2007 and get married in 2008 when he is in office? Shut up. I won't allow you to say any more. If you still want to sow discord, go back to Country M. Don't follow me anymore. Hua Zixing turned around and glared at Nan Gongyu when she saw Lu Shuang. Nan Gongyu nodded. I'll go pick some flowers for Madam. As she spoke, she walked out the door. Big sister, I'll get someone to prepare breakfast for you now. Hua Zixing smiled and gave a look to the servant beside her. Lu Shuang nodded and looked around. Where's Shunyan? Something happened to Invisible. He went there personally. He might come back very late today. You slept late last night, so he didn't wake you up. I'm going to the temple to pray later. Do you want to come with me? Hua Zixing asked kindly. Lu Shuang thought for a moment and shook his head. It would be too ostentatious for her to follow Hua Zixing out. She might as well go to the temple on her own. It would be less eye-catching. All right, I won't be back too early tonight. If you're hungry, you can eat first, Hua Zixing said. Lu Shuang nodded again. Then I'll have breakfast first. I'm a little hungry. Lu Shuang sat at the dining table, and the servant served breakfast. Hua Zixing's eyes dimmed as she went up to the third floor. Nan Gongyu appeared and asked confusedly, Why do I feel that she doesn't care at all? Did she not hear what we said? Hua Zixing was also surprised and frowned in deep thought. Won't she marry the president? Nan Gongyu guessed. Shunyan has always wanted to marry her. At most, he'll wait until the 4-year agreement is up. Then he'll divorce me and marry her. He won't wait any longer. Hua Zixing took a deep breath. I suspect that she doesn't understand what we're talking about. Huh? Nan Gongyu was stunned. Or rather, she didn't listen on purpose. Even if she did, she didn't think about it on purpose, Hua Zixing said. Is she that innocent? Nan Gongyu was curious. A woman like her wouldn't survive past the first episode in a palace drama. Hua Zixing was also a little sad. Maybe that's what Shunyan likes about her. Nan Gongyu sneered. There are a lot of people like that in kindergartens and elementary schools. He's not worthy of your love. Xiaoyu, help me think of a way. I can't chase Lu Shuang away myself. Shunyan will blame me. You can't deal with her directly either. Shunyan will also vent his anger on me. The best way is to let her leave on her own, Hua Zixing said gently with a hint of coquettishness. Nan Gongyu rubbed Hua Zixing's head and said helplessly and dotingly, The best way is not to let her leave on her own. Even if she leaves, Shunyan will still think of her and find her. Based on my understanding of men, Shunyan will love her more. The best way is to let her be hated by Shunyan. Hua Zixing's hope was ignited. How can we let her be hated by Shunyan? Nan Gongyu's lips twitched. Jealous, capricious, arrogant, frivolous, petty, naggy, suspicious, extreme, princess syndrome. Hua Zixing suddenly understood why Lu Shuang was so attracted to Shunyan. She wasn't particularly stunning, nor was she outstanding. But coincidentally, she didn't have any of the traits that men hated. From what I know, she's straightforward and carefree. She doesn't think too much, so she's heartless. Nan Gongyu looked at Hua Zixing confidently. Don't be anxious. There's still 1.5 years before the contract expires. There'll be plenty of opportunities. If she doesn't have it, we'll think of a way to let her have it. What do you mean? Hua Zixing looked at Nan Gongyu in confusion. Just leave it to me. The less you know about these things, the more you can brush them off. I'll take care of everything. Okay. Hua Zixing nodded obediently. Asterisk while Lu Shuang was having breakfast, Hua Zixing and Nan Gongyu went out in a mighty manner. She browsed through her phone and saw the news about the former president of France. The gist of it was that in order to become the president, this president had accepted money from the Libyan leader as campaign expenses. After becoming the president, he got divorced and married while he was in office. He was the first person who didn't continue to be the president. She took a sip of milk. So it was really like what Shunyan had said. If he didn't become the president, many people would suffer. The best outcome for him was to be imprisoned for the rest of his life. In the past, she didn't understand why Shen Yin said that he loved her. But since he married Hua Zixing, she didn't think that it was love. On second thought, Shen Yin wasn't an ordinary person. His father was the president, and he had a lot on his shoulders since he was young. If he didn't become the president, his family would suffer. Even if he became the president, his father would also suffer. He chose to commit suicide under his interrogation. Perhaps a commoner like her wouldn't be able to understand such boldness. So, Shen Yin might really like her. She heard Nan Gongyu egging Hua Zixing on just now. But Hua Zixing scolded Nan Gongyu angrily. Chapter 642. If there was something between Shen Yin and Hua Zixing would hate her very much instead of protecting her. Moreover, Colonel Tang committed suicide. She had planned to leave after the murderer who killed her mother was found and brought to justice. However, if it wasn't for Shen Yin, Colonel Tang wouldn't have been exposed so quickly. In the end, it was Shen Yin who helped her. He was so good to her. If she left, it wouldn't be nice. Why don't I stay? Lu Shuang drank the milk in a cup, and his phone rang. He saw that it was Shen Yin's call and picked it up. Are you awake? Shen Yin asked with a smile. Nonsense. How can I answer your call if I don't get up? What's the matter? Just say it. I'm busy, Lu Shuang said. He took the dog food and was about to feed the puppies. I'm going to Baiya's place for lunch today. Do you want to come? Shen Yin asked. Lu Shuang paused. She was actually touched that Baiya had sent people to protect her. Yesterday, when she saw the thin and strong Baiya who wanted to talk to her but didn't dare to talk to her, she was a little touched and felt a little bitter. She was such a friend who had walked into her heart. Do you think I should go? Lu Shuang asked Shen Yin. Let me ask you, if Baiya knew that your mother would die, would he tell me where you went? Shen Yin asked. Of course not, Lu Shuang said with certainty. You should know how much effort Baiya put in to escape. I also know that you're going to leave. The day before you left, I went to find Baiya and asked her to tell me your address. Do you know what Baiya asked for? Shen Yin asked again. How would I know? Be more direct, Lu Shuang said bluntly. He didn't allow me to disturb your normal life when I haven't finished my business. If there is any danger, she will arrange for you to evacuate immediately. She's just worried that you'll lose your true love. Perhaps it had something to do with her experience. She knew how important it was for a child to have a mother and father together. She wanted us to be together, so she took a gamble. After your mother's accident, she came to question me like a madwoman. I can tell that she truly cares about you, Shen Yin said. So you want me to reconcile with her? Lu Shuang understood what Shen Yin meant. Shen Yin smiled. Back then, you were willing to stay by the side of someone you don't love because of her. It shows how high a position she holds in your heart. She is a rational, reasonable, and wise person. With her to chat with, it won't be easy for you to get into a dead end. I'm more at ease. Lu Shuang's eyes turned red. I'm a little annoyed with her. She's my best friend, someone I value more than anyone else. So, you've forgiven me, but not her. At the end of the day, your mother's death is related to me. You're willing to stay by my side, but don't want to talk to her because you care about her too much. I'm not your subordinate, and I'm not getting paid by you. I don't have to report to you, Lu Shuang retorted. Shen Yin grabbed her arm. His eyes were filled with fear. I won't. I won't allow you to go out. You're not my subordinate, but you're my woman. Do I not have freedom to be your woman? Then I don't want to be your woman anymore. Lu Shuang flung his hand away. He gripped it tightly. She couldn't fling it away. Frustrated, she grabbed his arm and bit it. He looked at her silently. No matter how much she bit, he wouldn't let go. Lu Shuang tasted the blood and came back to her senses. Her heart was aching as she looked at him in confusion. Doesn't it hurt? You're going to leave soon. This little bit of pain is nothing. Shen Yin looked at him with a burning gaze. His eyes were even redder with a flash of pain. His brows were tightly knitted, but he was also determined that he would never let go. Lu Shuang guessed that he might have misunderstood. I'm just going out to buy something. It's not like I'm not coming back. Why did you go crazy when you came back? If you want to buy anything, You can ask the servants in the villa. Or you can ask Colonel Chung to buy it for you. You have his phone number. Why didn't you pick up the phone? I asked someone to look for you in your room. You left your phone on the bed, but you're gone. Shen Yin locked his eyes on her and questioned her. He was really afraid of her running away. He didn't want to be unable to find her like last time. If he couldn't find her again, he might really go crazy. Hello, everyone. I'm Chim Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 643. I just left my phone on the bed and went out for a walk. The sun was nice today, so I took a nap on the chair. Don't be so paranoid. It's okay to be paranoid. Don't lose your temper with me. I didn't do anything wrong, Lu Shuang explained. He pulled her into his arms and hugged her tightly for a while. Lu Shuang's anger came and went quickly. He was no longer angry. You can't not answer the phone in the future, Shen Yin said. What if you don't answer the phone when I call you? Lu Shuang asked. Then you can still lose your temper with me, he said dotingly. D*MN. Do you have to lose your temper over such a small thing? If you don't answer my call and you lose your temper, then I don't want to live anymore. He actually wanted to lose his temper with her. At least it meant that he cared about her. She was sometimes too carefree and open-minded. Lu Shuang didn't know what Shen Yin was thinking. He continued, how about this? If you call me and I don't call you back within 2 hours, you can call me again. If I don't call you back within 2 hours, don't doubt that my phone is definitely not with me. I know what to do. I'll just install the tracking device in your teeth, like Lady Zheng did. Don't hide in a corner and sleep when I'm looking for you, Shen Yin said helplessly. Lu Shuang thought what he said was true. She was scared when she thought of the bomb in Lady Zheng's teeth. Is it necessary? If I like you, I won't leave even if you chase me away. If I don't like you, you can't keep my heart even if you keep me. If my heart is not with you, you'll have to stay for the rest of your life. You'll be in trouble, and I'll be in trouble too. Let's just let each other go. Lu Shuang turned around. Shen Yin hugged her and pulled her into her arms. She hugged her tighter and looked at her helplessly and nervously. Do you like me? Lu Shuang thought for a moment. I think I said it before. I want to hear it now. I want to hear it from your heart. Shen Yin looked at her with a burning gaze. Lu Shuang took a deep breath. You must have fallen in love with her, right? Shen Yin was pleasantly surprised. She smiled and asked again as if she had misheard. What? Lu Shuang looked at his smiling eyes. This man was really good-looking when he smiled. It was as if the sun and moon had lost their brilliance. If I didn't like you, I probably wouldn't want to give birth to another child for you. Since I'm willing to give birth to a child for you, I think I like you. Shen Yin was happy and kissed her face. Lu Shuang smiled and kissed her back. He kissed her on the lips, and she kissed him back. He kissed her lips again. When she wanted to move away, he pressed the back of her head and deepened the kiss. Lu Shuang also closed his eyes and responded. She quite liked his kiss. It was very comfortable, sticky, and a little ticklish, but she still liked it. It could speed up her heartbeat and increase her adrenaline level. It was pleasurable. Before she knew it, she was already on the bed. Her body turned cold. She realized what he was going to do and pushed his chest. Aren't you tired? You slept so late last night and woke up so early today. This bit of stamina is nothing. Help me out. I've been under a lot of pressure recently, Shen Yin said in a low voice. His voice was a little hoarse. You're doing that with me because I'm under a lot of pressure? She didn't like the way he said it. When I'm under a lot of pressure, I want to be with the person I like and forget about those unhappy things. At least it gives me the motivation to fight for our future, Shen Yin said softly. Her heart was also soft and wet when she said that. Although she used to say that she didn't care how rich, powerful, or handsome a man was, as long as he was good enough. In fact, she didn't care how rich, powerful, or handsome a man was. She only cared about a man's sincerity. Just as she was letting her imagination run wild, Shen Yin lifted her ankle and entered her. Damn, Shen Yin, you're such a hooligan. Lu Shuang clenched his fists. He kissed her ankle and said tenderly, only for you. A surge of emotions flowed in her heart, giving rise to a sweet feeling. She also wanted to do something for him. After all, she had admitted that she liked him. She hugged his waist and sat up, facing him. Her face was as pretty as a peach blossom. Is this okay? Shen Yin smiled. Okay. Half an hour later, Shen lay on the bed to rest. She used his arm as a pillow and thought about something. What are you thinking about? Shen asked. Lu Shuang looked at her. I suddenly thought through some things. Huh? Shen propped her head and looked at her with infatuation. Shen, if you die, will you want me to find another man and live a happy life? Lu Shuang asked. Shen face instantly darkened and she frowned. You didn't have enough fun just now, did you? I mean, if you die. Lu Shuang reminded her. Shen bit her lip. I'll take you with me even if I die. Lu Shuang covered her mouth and looked at him in confusion. Shouldn't it be because you love me, so you want me to live a better life? After you die, you are afraid that no one will take care of me, so you hope that a better man will appear, love me, and tolerate me? I'm afraid that you will be bullied by other men, so I'd better live well, in case you have no one to take care of you, Shen said helplessly. Having said that, he calmed down. He could guess what Lu Shuang was thinking, so he continued. As parents, their greatest wish is for their children's happiness. As a husband, he definitely won't want his wife to find another man. What if you die? Lu Shuang asked again. Shen knocked her head. If I die, I'll leave you a lot of money so that you can find 100 servants to serve you and make sure that you don't have to worry about food and clothing. Is that okay? Lu Shuang thought for a moment and nodded. So, I've decided to forgive Baya. If I don't forgive her, I'll be letting myself down. I don't have a mother anymore, so I can't let myself down. When will you go to Baya's place this afternoon? Shen looked at her bright and beautiful face and raised a smile. He liked to see her happy face. Seeing her happy would make his mood better. He looked at the time on his watch. We should leave now. Let's go. Lu Shuang kicked the quilt away and got up from the bed. Shen was helpless. How could he fall in love with a tough woman? Shuang, go to Baya's house and take off the bracelet. I can't. Lu Shuang refused. Shen frowned and looked at her. What's wrong now? He sighed helplessly. For someone like him, who was always scheming and never showed his feelings, his mood changed several times a day when he was with Lu Shuang. Chapter 644. I saw a piece of news today. It's about the former French president. I think it's similar to you. If your illegitimate child is exposed, I'm telling you, you definitely won't be able to be the president. Lu Shuang was worried. Don't worry. Since I asked you to give birth to our child, I can guarantee your safety, Shen said with certainty. It's better to be safe than sorry. Let me tell you, that Nangong you originally told Hua Zixing to talk to you and persuade you. Hua Zixing even talked to Nangong you. I think Nangong you might be doing it out of kindness, and Hua Zixing might be worried that it will affect our relationship. They are actually good people. I thought about it seriously. After all, I am the one who will spend the rest of my life with you, not them. I have to plan for myself. I definitely don't want anything to happen to my future husband. If that happens, I won't have a husband. Look, after the former president stepped down, he still brought up the bad things he did and the matter with the daughter of the cosmetics company CEO. So you have done more bad things in the past. Maybe they will dig up your childhood and you can play with it. I think you should wait until you are stable in the future. Besides, you will be distracted after giving birth, Lu Shuang advised. Shen was in a good mood when he heard her say the word future husband. He thought about her words seriously and hugged her waist. He told her what he was worried about. If you don't give birth, I will be more distracted. Lu Shuang smiled, his eyes sparkling. Are you afraid that I will run away? Don't you do this kind of thing often? Shen looked at him helplessly. Silly. Do I look like someone who won't run away after giving birth? Lu Shuang asked. Shen tightened his grip on her waist. Although it was painful, she felt a strange sweetness in her heart. She hugged the back of his neck. I said I won't run away, so I won't run away. Shen sneered. You should change your mind every 3 days. If you don't run away now, you will run away again in 2 days. Lu Shuang. She didn't know whether she should be angry or compliment Shen for knowing her so well. She really changed her mind every 3 days. How about we sign an agreement? As long as you don't betray me, I won't run away. Are you relieved now? Lu Shuang asked. Shen kissed her on the lips and said in a deep voice, I believe you. If you run away again, Lu Shuang, I will never believe you again. I know. Let's go find Baya. Lu Shuang pulled Shun Yin away. The corners of Shun Yin's mouth curled up. He was anxious when he saw her, but when he saw her again, he was to her, of her. Asterisk Lu Shun. Shun of thought. Lu Shun of Shun and of too. He shunned to Yang of too. Lu Shung of. When they were outside the manor, Lu Shuang found that something was wrong. The manor had 3 floors inside and 3 floors outside, surrounded by soldiers in different uniforms. They looked serious and solemn, but there was a sense of tension. Are these people Gu Lingqing's men, or the Shadow's men? Lu Shuang asked in confusion. More than that, Shun Yin said seriously. After the car was checked, it drove in. Lu Shuang looked at the back of the car and saw that there was a circle of people outside the manor. Are we not the only ones who came here for dinner today? Lu Shuang asked suspiciously. Sheng Doncheng, Lung Shuang, Su Zheng, Zhuo Chuani, Xing Shang, and Xing Buhua. Shun Yin said thoughtfully. Xing Buhua? Is he the one who looks like Gu Lingqing? Are they twins? Lu Shuang guessed. I don't think so. I've checked. Song Xiu only had one child, not twins. When we go in, there's some things to deal with. I'll give you and buy you some private time later. Be good, Shun Yin said. Lu Shuang nodded. She didn't understand what they were talking about, so she had to be good. The car stopped in front of the villa. Baya's security opened the car door. Shun Yin got out of the car. Lu Shuang and Colonel Chung immediately followed and entered the house. Lu Shuang saw many people. There were guards in every corner of the house, but they were all wearing the same clothes. So, they belonged to the same group of people. They might be Baya's men. The atmosphere inside was extremely strange. No one spoke, and their faces were tense. Even Baya was cold, expressionless, and indifferent. Baya saw Shun Yin. Her eyes moved to Lu Shuang's face subconsciously, and then moved away. She nodded at Shun Yin. You worked hard. Something happened, so I'm a little late. I'm sorry, Shun Yin said in a distant and businesslike manner. Tell me about this matter. What exactly happened? Right now, the outside world is very strange about the death of the Minister of Education and his wife, Su Zheng said in a strange tone. His tone carried a tone of questioning, solemn and contemptuous. Baya looked at Su Zheng slowly. Minister Zheng died suddenly. The cause of his death has been leaked on the internet. Lung Xiuzuan and I think that Minister Zheng might have known some unspeakable secrets, so he was assassinated. Since you took Lady Zheng away, what did she say before she died? Su Zheng interrogated. Everyone's eyes were on Baya's face. Baya looked at Zhuo Chuani and just looked at him. Zhuo Chuani glared at Baya. His eyes were filled with murderous intent, but there was also a hint of warning in them. Baya's lips curled up, and she replied calmly. She did say something, but because there's no evidence, I'll only make people more suspicious if I say it. There's no need for me to say it. What did she say? Su Zheng asked sternly. Zhuo Chuani frowned, and he was a little annoyed. He said, Deputy Chief Su, Baya is not a criminal. She's just helping us with our investigation. Since she didn't say it, she must have her reasons. I believe that Madame Gu will say it when she wants to, right? Zhuo Chuani looked at Baya. Baya sat down on the chair, and his fingers tapped on the table rhythmically. In fact, I don't think there's a need to say it. First, even if I say it, no one will believe me. Instead, they'll think that I'm trying to stir up trouble. Second, I'm not sure if what Lady Zheng said is true or not. Third, I'm not a politician. Just like what Deputy Chiefs was said, I'm just helping with the investigation. Since you're here today, I don't have much to entertain you. Let's eat first, and we can talk during the meal. What do you think? Everyone stopped talking, and they looked at the highest commander, Shun Yin. Thank you for your hospitality, Madame Gu, Shun Yin said formally, and he sat down first. Lu Shuang stood still, and he saw that there were people sitting on both sides of Shun Yin. One was Su Zheng, and the other was Zhuo Chuani. The people sitting at Baya's table had special seats, and the assistant was not qualified, so he sat down at the table next to him. Chapter 645. Baya looked at Su Zheng and met Su Zheng's gaze. Her lips curled into a provocative and mocking smile, and her fingers tapped on the table gracefully. Su Zheng was a little angry when he saw Baya's behavior. This woman came to his house for a meal as Su Jiran's wife 5 years ago. At that time, she was a yes man, and he could easily crush her to death. He did not expect that she would turn into someone that even he had to be wary of. He felt very uncomfortable. Is this case going to be left unsolved? Aren't you here to assist in the investigation? Su Zheng asked Baya. Baya smiled and said calmly, "First of all, I'm here to assist in the investigation. I'm not the main investigator. As for whether this case will be left unsolved, it's not up to me, but up to the police, right?" "But Lady Zheng died in your car," Su Zheng said unhappily. "The forensics team should have the report. Someone planted a bomb in Lady Zheng's teeth. The time of the explosion depends on a mastermind." Baya became serious and sharp. She continued, "As for my woman, she's still lying in the hospital. She was injured because I helped you guys. As a girl, half of her face was destroyed. What else do you want to know, Deputy Chief Su? I think you should tell us what Lady Zheng said, so that the police can have a direction to investigate. After all, you're the last person who came into contact with the victim. You have the obligation to tell us," Su Zheng said persistently. "What if I don't tell you?" Baya provoked. Su Zheng slammed the table and stood up. He said sternly, "Then I have reason to suspect that you're the murderer." "Fine." Baya sighed. "Since you want to know so much, I'll contact the police tomorrow and tell them what I know. Deputy Chief Su, I feel much better now." Su Zheng sat back down and snorted. Baya glanced at Zhuochuani's face. His complexion was very bad. One moment it was green, the next moment it was white. Lung Shuai couldn't help but want to give his wife a thumbs up. He was also curious as to why Madame had agreed to everyone's visit and even wanted to treat these political figures to a meal. This was not in line with Madame's cold and distant personality. She really didn't like these people. Now he understood. What Lady Zheng said was what Zhuochuani was afraid of. Moreover, Su Zheng kept forcing Madame to tell him what she knew. Naturally, Zhuochuani hated Su Zheng. When the two sides fought, there would definitely be losses, and Madame would be the fisherman who would devise strategies behind the scenes. Also, after Su Zheng's incident and Baya's foreshadowing, Zhuochuani understood that no matter what Baya said, whether it was true or not, it could cause a powerful upheaval. This made Zhuochuani anxious. When there was no one around today, he would contact Madame to discuss the conditions. Madame's move was really great. He watched it very excitedly. However, no matter how exciting it was, he couldn't learn it. It required too much brain power. The chefs brought the dishes up and stood neatly behind Baya. Zhuochuani gave his assistant a look, and the assistant nodded. This detail was captured by the sharp Xing Buhua. He was about to remind Baya when he heard Baya ask, "Have you tested these dishes before serving? Are there any poisons?" The chef reported respectfully, "Yes, there's no poison. All the people here today are political figures. If there's any mistake, I won't be able to get away with it. Before serving, try it again in front of them." Baya ordered. "Yes," the chef replied. Lu Shuang watched as those people used serving chopsticks to test each person's dishes. Baya was very indifferent. Her gaze fell on Zhuochuani's pale face, and the corners of her mouth curled up slightly. Zhuochuani's assistant also looked at Zhuochuani and sent a message to him, asking, "Do you still want to poison the dishes?" Zhuochuani saw the assistant's message, and his hands were trembling. He replied, "No need for now. This woman is more cunning than a fox." Xing Buhua curled up the corner of his mouth, and his gaze fell on Baya's face with admiration. She called everyone together, and he guessed that there would be a good show to watch. The woman he liked was indeed extraordinary. Lu Shuang stole a glance at Xing Buhua. Damn, this man was really the same as Gu Lingqing. However, Gu Lingqing would definitely not laugh like this. Even if it was funny, he would still be serious, very cold, and could change the atmosphere in an instant. But this man's character was much livelier than Gu Lingqing's, and he looked much more romantic, and it was easy to make people calm down. He should be the type of man who had many girlfriends. Shen Yin glanced over and happened to see the way Lu Shuang was staring at Xing Buhua. His face was a little green, and he cleared his throat. Lu Shuang was immersed in his own thoughts and did not hear anything at all. He supported his face and thought that if Gu Lingqing died, this Xing Buhua should have the cold and handsome face of Gu Lingqing, and Bai should be easily moved. But he always felt that Xing Buhua was not as good a match for Bai as Gu Lingqing. Yeah, Xing Buhua made her feel a little dangerous, and he was a little like Su Jieran. At first glance, he looked very charming, and when he smiled, he could turn the world upside down. Unfortunately, he was a womanizer. Bai's life was really bad. She finally got rid of the big devil, Su Jieran, and found Gu Lingqing, who doted on her, loved her, and regarded her as more important than her own life. She did not expect that she would die again. If Xing Buhua was not reliable, Bai would probably not be able to live. In this life, before she met Gu Lingqing, she had been living a very hard life. After she met Gu Lingqing, her life was even more bitter. When would the bitterness be over and the sweetness would come? When Shen Yin saw that Lu Shuang had been staring at Gu Lingqing without blinking, his face darkened. He sent a message to Lu Shuang. "What are you looking at?" When Lu Shuang heard his phone ring, he saw that it was a message from Shen Yin. He replied, "Nothing. I'm waiting for dinner." Shen Yin looked at her message and replied, "Between Xing Buhua and me, who's prettier? We're men better looking." Childish. However, to be honest, I'm just expressing my personal opinion. Xing Buhua is more masculine, and his face is also three-dimensional. He looks very manly. You are the type that many women like. You are too flirtatious, although your face is pleasing to the eye, but it's quite different. When Lu Shuang sent the message over, Shen Yin glared at Lu Shuang and wanted to pick her up and spank her. No, he couldn't bear to spank her. He could only push her down first. Lu Shuang didn't know that he was being glared at. He lowered his head and didn't know what he was doing. "So are you one of the many women or one of the different women?" Shen Yin sent another message to ask. When Lu Shuang saw Shen Yin's message, he chuckled and stole a glance at Shen Yin. He didn't look at her. He was facing his high officials with a serious face. She didn't reply. Shen Yin looked at her phone every 10 seconds. She sighed helplessly and sent another message. "Why aren't you replying?" Lu Shuang replied quickly. "Are you being jealous again?" Chapter 646. Lu Shuang smiled when he saw the words that Shen Yin had sent. She felt like she was in love, a feeling that no one had ever given her before. Her heart was filled with sweetness. She replied, "Of course it's not the usual way. Otherwise, why would I stay by your side? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, okay?" Shen Yin was finally satisfied. She smiled and replied, "I'll reward you when we get back." Bai saw his expression and didn't look at Lu Shuang anymore, afraid that someone would make groundless accusations. Zui Chuanyi already knew that Shen Yin had an illegitimate child. It wasn't difficult to know that the illegitimate child was Lu Shuang, but he probably already knew about it and was now setting up a trap. The chef had already tasted the dishes and confirmed that there was no poison in front of everyone before sending them out. Dinner was served. "I heard that Mrs. Gu has invested in an app. I heard that you specialize in targeting the government," Sheng Dongchang said indifferently, as if he didn't mean it. The officials looked at each other. This was the main reason why they were here today. Bai replied calmly, "Why would I target the government? I'm only targeting some illegal phenomena, and some of these phenomena happen to some people in the government. These officials are the pillars of the country. If something serious happens to them, the country will be in serious trouble too. I just feel that there needs to be a platform for the officials to understand the people's lives. Isn't this what the officials have been looking for? Understanding the people's suffering can help us solve the problem better. But I heard that you injured him maliciously and used the power of public opinion. This time, Minister Zheng's case is related to you." Sheng Dongsheng tried his best to suppress her. Baya laughed. "Rumors stop with the wise. As for whether I injured him maliciously or not, I believe that everyone here knows very well that I have evidence for every incident. Otherwise, I wouldn't be preparing to arrest Minister Zheng. I'd like to ask Minister Sheng, what do you think I did wrong? I think you're already a regent with the identity of a commoner. You're even more despicable than those terrorist organizations. You're an internal threat, Sheng Dongshang said in disgust. Internal hidden dangers? Minister Sheng, you are really funny. According to what you said, I am regent when I set up a website for everyone to speak freely. If you become the president one day, then the people will not be able to speak freely. I'm really glad that I don't live under a leader who only dares to be angry but doesn't dare to speak up. Bai had already pointed out something. Sheng Dongqing's face turned pale. He had originally asked this question to win over the officials' hearts. However, Bai Ye's words had caused him to lose the support of the people. He said angrily, "You're just twisting words and forcing logic. It's a pity that you're not a lawyer with such good eloquence." It's not that I'm eloquent. It's just that I speak from a reasonable point of view. Naturally, my words flow smoothly. I don't need to think about logical problems because I'm just stating the facts. Bai put down his chopsticks and his expression became serious. I know that everyone has a lot of opinions about the website I set up. Some people are even very uneasy. For example, people like Minister Zheng who have done bad things and are afraid of being found out. Bai paused and swept his gaze across everyone's faces. Most of them lowered their heads and did not speak. Bai continued, "I'm just one of the commoners. What I hope is that the rulers can be fair and strict. I don't think I'm wrong, and I don't think there's anything wrong with my website. I think the purpose of the Discipline Inspection Department is to supervise the officials so that the officials can better serve the country. Isn't my website the same? I feel that the best way to supervise the officials is to have the boss's surname. And I just happen to provide such a good platform, don't I?" Clap, clap, clap. Shen Yin applauded. Everyone looked at him, and the atmosphere was very strange. Lu Shuang saw that Shen Yin was applauding. Of course, he had to cooperate, so he quickly applauded and even nudged the two people beside him. Those two people saw that they were the president's assistants, so they could not help but applaud. Therefore, Zhuo Chuani's assistant and Sheng Dongqing's assistant also applauded. Zhuo Chuani and Sheng Dongqing's faces turned ashen. Shen Yin saw it from the corner of his eyes and smiled. If he did not smile again, he would suffer internal injuries. His woman was too awesome. After Shen Yin finished laughing, he said to Bai seriously, "I think what you said is very well. The country does need a platform to allow all the officials to be supervised by the people. Now, with the development of the internet, new methods are being developed. I feel that the country can follow the example of the ancients and enlist you. You can manage this platform, then connect with the cabinet, respond to problems, and sound the alarm for some officials. The supervision of the officials has always been the responsibility of the Discipline Inspection Department. I think this can be classified as my department," Su Zheng said. "If it is classified as the government department, won't the officials still protect each other?" Bai said directly, "Nonsense. Are you saying that the Discipline Inspection Department is not doing a good job?" Su Zheng was angry. "What I mean is that you are the supervision of the government department, and I am the supervision of the people. It is not appropriate to classify me as your department. How about this? If I find a problem, I will report it in time. Is that okay?" Bai said, "I will reserve a position for you in the cabinet. If you find a problem, it will sound the alarm for the wives of the officials, so that some officials can control their behavior. Punishment is not the goal, but the goal is to manage the country better. What do you think?" Shen Yin said. As soon as he said that, some people's faces became even uglier. They were originally here to question Bai Ye, but in the end, they promoted Bai Ye to the cabinet and gave her real power. However, because of the high-sounding reasons, those who opposed it were guilty. No one dared to oppose it. They looked at each other. "We will have a meeting at 2 in the afternoon to finalize this matter. Let's eat first," Shen Yin said. In this place, he was the highest decision-maker, and no one dared to oppose him. They couldn't even digest the meal. The first person to suggest leaving was Xing Shang, who had been silent all this time. "I have something to do at home, so I will leave first," Xing Shang said to Bai Ye politely but alienated. He nodded to the others and left with Xing Buhua. As soon as they got in the car, Xing Shang warned Xing Buhua, "This woman is not simple. You better not contact her and keep a distance. Otherwise, she will easily find out that you're not Gu Lingqing. At that time, it will not be easy for us to make use of Gu Lingqing's manpower." Chapter 647. Yes, Xing Buhua replied. His eyes were so deep that no one could understand what he was thinking. Xing Shang was slightly worried and reminded him, "Remember, Gu Lingqing must not stay. Otherwise, he will be a stumbling block for us. I know you can't bear to let him die because he is your brother, but he was shot and won't live long. Don't be impulsive." "I know what to do," Xing Buhua said firmly. "It's good that you know. Don't forget our grand goal." Xing Shang looked at Xing Buhua meaningfully and said, "There are many good women in the world. She is indeed excellent, but she is not the only excellent one. You haven't slept with her yet, have you?" Xing Buhua shook his head and said, "Not yet. Don't sleep. Otherwise, you will soon be unable to tell whether she is your woman or your brother's woman. And she is too smart. She will soon find out that you're not Gu Lingqing. The former president was also brought down by her, right? At that time, when she knows that you killed Gu Lingqing, she will not let you go." Xing Shang said seriously. He said slowly. Xing Buhua nodded and looked out of the window. He pursed his lips and twirled his thumbs. This was what he would do when he was very upset. As soon as Xing Shang left, the others also left one after another. In the end, only Leng Shuai, Shen Yin, and Lu Shuang were left. Shen Yin knew that Leng Shuai was Baiya's man. There was no need to hide some things from Leng Shuai, even if he forced Baiya to discuss with Leng Shuai. "What are you going to say when you contact the police tomorrow?" Shen Yin asked directly. Baiya put his index finger on his lips, motioned Shen Yin not to speak, and looked at Leng Shuai. Leng Shao nodded and walked out. After a while, a guard came over with a metal box. Soon, he detected the monitor under the chair in the living room. Lu Shuang suddenly realized that Baiya was cautious and considered everything. In just one hall, there were already 6 surveillance cameras installed. This was really amazing. Professional anti-wiretapping personnel came over and dismantled all the wiretaps. "Leng Shuai, check my monitor to see if anyone has tampered with it." Baiya ordered. Yes. Leng Shuai took down the monitor that Baiya had installed himself. "Take him to check the surveillance cameras in all the rooms and make sure there are no problems," Baiya said cautiously. "Okay." Leng Shuai took his men. Under Zhang Xingyu's arrangement, and Ying's men in her room disappeared again, and the room returned to its former tranquility. "Shen Yin, come with me," Baiya said, and went to the underground library to check today's video. "Zhang," Baiya said. Bai Yin looked at Zhang. "Shuai." Bai Zhang. Baiya narrowed his eyes. "It's him. You know him?" Shen Yin asked curiously. "He's the one who killed Minister Zhang. Have you forgotten that I have the third eye?" "Even if they destroyed the monitor, I've already ordered people to keep an eye on this area." "Did you kill Minister Zhang on purpose?" Shen Yin asked. "Of course not. I didn't ask people to keep an eye on it 24/7. Even if I did, I wouldn't be able to stop him if he wanted to kill someone. All I could do was retrieve the information and organize it. After all, the third eye has to process a lot of information." Baiya explained. "Now, have you found out who he is?" Shen Yin stared at the screen and asked. "I've retrieved all the monitors of this person. I've also retrieved all the monitors of Minister Zhang before the incident. His name is Liu Bowie, 35 years old, Chinese-American, Special Forces soldier, born with great strength, participated in the war in Afghanistan, and his whereabouts are unknown after he was discharged from the army. The place where he usually lives is very secluded. On the morning of Minister Zhang's death, he also appeared in this place, but it's strange that Zhuo Chuani didn't go there. I suspect that there might be a secret passage under Zhuo Chuani's house. He might have disguised himself or left in an ordinary car, so I can't find any information about him for now," Baiya explained. "Baiya, look, there's another person climbing in through your window," Lu Shuang said, pointing at the screen. Baiya paused and turned to look at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was no longer as cold to her as before. She had a completely different attitude. She was a little excited, expectant, and pleading. That was because Bai Yu was usually a very cold person, but her eyes were a little lovely. Lu Shuang's heart suddenly ached. She had always been a very straightforward person. "I forgive you," she said directly, without any foreshadowing. Bai Yu smiled. This was the only thing that made her happy today. She hugged Lu Shuang and pressed the back of his head. Her eyes were a little wet, and she choked with sobs. "I'm sorry." Lu Shuang patted Bai Yu's back. "I know you're good to me. Let's not talk about the past. My mother's spirit in heaven must also want us to reconcile. I'll take care of you from now on," Bai Yu promised. Shen Yin had seen them hugging for a long time. If Bai Yu was a man, he would definitely ask Bai Yu to get as far away as possible. He pulled Lu Shuang out. "I'll take care of her from now on. She's already living at my place. You'd better not meet her now. I suspect that's what Xiuani already knows about your relationship with Lu Shuang. He's planning to trap you," Bai Yu reminded him. Shen Yin smiled. "The most dangerous place is the safest. Only Sheng Dongsheng vaguely knows about my relationship with Lu Shuang. Besides, even Sheng Dongsheng isn't 100% sure. She'll be in danger if she's not under my watch. I can guarantee her safety," Bai Yu said. Shen Yin hugged Lu Shuang's waist. "But I can't come over from time to time. If I come over, they'll think that there's something going on between you and me. If I speak up for you, they'll use it against me. You can come to Lu Shuang after you solve the problem around you. Don't forget that besides Sheng Dongsheng, everyone around you knows about your relationship with Lu Shuang, especially your invisible men. Aren't they the ones who want to kill Lu Shuang? Are you sure that there's no one behind Colonel Tang?" Bai Yu pulled Lu Shuang over. Shen Yin pulled Lu Shuang over. Shen Yin pulled Lu Shuang over again. "I can guarantee that my men will not betray me. If they wanted to, they would have said that Lu Shuang is my woman. After what Colonel Tang has done, I believe that no one will dare to target her again, unless they want to die." Bai Yu was about to pull Lu Shuang over, but Shen Yin moved. Bai Yu didn't pull Lu Shuang. Chapter 648. Based on what you said, wouldn't she be in danger if she stayed with you? You've offended more people than I have. Sheng Dongsheng, Zhuo Xiuani, Su Zheng. Which one of them isn't a political figure? You think they don't hate you? They're also eyeing your position. Zhuo Xiuani ordered Minister Zheng to prove it. Bai Yu retorted. "But at least I'm a president now, so they won't do it openly. With my current strength, they won't dare to do it openly. Moreover, I have a perfect plan, unless they don't care about their reputation and status anymore. For them, climbing up is their only goal in this life. And you almost killed Lu Shuang last time. You have a perfect plan, but it doesn't mean that I don't. Why do you think I asked my people to follow you that day? Lu Shuang must stay with me," Shen Yin said forcefully. F*CK, stop arguing. Lu Shuang couldn't stand it anymore. "The more I listen to you, the weaker I feel. My dear door, please give me some face." Bai Yu and Shen Yin stopped talking and turned their faces away. The atmosphere suddenly became cold, and it became even more strange. Lu Shuang's waist tightened, and Shen Yin looked at her with burning eyes. Lu Shuang pursed his lips and said to Bai Yu, "Xiao Bai, why don't I stay with him for a while? If I leave suddenly, people will be suspicious. If I find that he can't protect me, I will go to you. You can't abandon me." Hearing Lu Shuang's words, Bai Yu didn't insist anymore. Moreover, she knew Lu Shuang well. If Lu Shuang asked to stay, it could only mean that he liked Shen Yin. "Congratulations, Shen Yin." Because Bai Yu was angry, his tone was a little sarcastic. Shen Yin heard it and said, "Thank you. It's all thanks to your support from the beginning. In the future, Lu Shuang will be my wife. She will manage the cabinet in the future. I insisted on letting you in. In addition to helping you complete the plan, I also hope that you will support Lu Shuang in the future." Bai Yu sighed and looked at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was dumbfounded. Wasn't it funny for her to be the president's wife and manage the cabinet? Could she just be a lady and take care of the children? If you really want to be with him, you can't be as willful as before. Because you are in a high position, everyone's eyes are on you. You can't be unrestrained. You have to start learning how to manage people's hearts and balance power. I will do my best to teach you. Wait, Baya paused. She paused. She wanted to say that in the future, when Gu Lingqing got her revenge and no one could threaten their lives, they would leave and live the life they wanted. But now Shan Yin and Lu Shuang both thought that Gu Lingqing was dead, so she couldn't say it. Things were changeable. She trusted Lu Shuang, but not Shan Yin. Shan Yin was in a high position. She wouldn't act according to her emotions. Instead, she would consider the overall situation. When you're almost ready, I'll leave, Baya continued the previous sentence. Lu Shuang's eyes turned red. Where are you going? Are you never coming back? I want to live the life I want, Baya said softly. Lu Shuang held Baya's hand and asked worriedly, Are you looking for death? Little Baya, don't. If you die, you will have nothing. Baya smiled. 5 or 6 years ago, she tried to commit suicide. She was saved by Su Jiran. She was still depressed, but she was still alive. She just wanted to live the way the people who cared about her wanted her to live. But she was unhappy. She was unhappy every day. This feeling was worse than death. She didn't want to go through it again. So now, she lived for herself. Don't think so far. From now on, what you need to do is to do your best every day, Baya said and went back to business. She looked at the monitor and explained, the person who came in later was Sheng Dongsheng. I've sorted out the information of all the people who might be Sheng Dongsheng and memorized all their facial features. I remember this person's eyes. Liu Junhua, Special Forces. He died in a drill 10 years ago. But he didn't die and became Sheng Dongsheng's man. Lu Shuang came back to his senses and praised, Little Bai, you're amazing. You can even remember this. Baya looked at Lu Shuang and said softly, Our brains can't be compared to hundreds of computers. It's just that the brain of a normal person is only developed by 3 to 6%. The brains of the so-called geniuses are only developed by 6 to 9%. As long as we continue to develop our potential and cultivate diligently, they could all become very powerful. Unless you're born with a mental disability, there's no such thing as intelligence or stupidity. There's only hard work and not hard work. As long as you work hard, you can do it. Lu Shuang knew that Baya was comforting her. She guessed that she was the kind of normal person who had developed 3% of her potential. What are you going to say to the police tomorrow? Shen Yin returned to the main topic. It's a pity that the surveillance camera in my car was destroyed, but my place was destroyed. Maybe Zhuo Chuny has it, Baya guessed. He won't keep anything that's harmful to him. So, I can be sure that Zhuo Chuny won't leave a recording. Shen Yin corrected her. That's the best. My testimony is very important. I can frame whoever I want. Although they don't believe me, many people will still make groundless accusations, Baya said calmly. You want to sow discord between Su Zheng and Zhuo Chuny? Shen Yin guessed. You know very well that the 3 parties are out of balance now. You have to suppress Zhuo Chuny. Otherwise, his ambition will come to you. And the one who can suppress him, make him not be too arrogant for the time being, make him not act rashly, and put him on the table in a dignified manner is Su Zheng. Baya analyzed, You have the same idea as me, but Zhuo Chuny is too cautious. I'm worried that you'll be in danger. Shen Yin's face darkened. I know. So, I'll have a good chat with Zhuo Chuny tonight. There's one more thing, which is also the reason why I came to see you today. I went to Invisible this morning and asked some people. They said that Colonel Tang is indeed uneasy. I think it's because his people failed to assassinate Lu Shuang. But if you want to talk about the reason, it's because... But it's far-fetched to say that he committed suicide because of this matter. He should have at least come to me before he committed suicide. But he didn't. Colonel Tang's autopsy report is out. It's true that he committed suicide. He didn't take any hallucinogens before he died. Moreover, when he jumped off the building, there were witnesses who proved that he was alone and no one else followed him. But his expression, what's wrong with his expression? Baya asked. Chapter 649. If he didn't commit suicide willingly, I can probably guess how he did it, Baya said as she pondered. She was a little tired from standing, so she pulled out a chair and sat down. What kind of method? Shini Yin was curious. One of the FBI's basic interview questions is like this. Name a few ways to communicate, Baya said. Shini Yin thought about what Baya said and said, phone, letters, language, music, secret codes. You're saying that someone used a secret code to contact Colonel Tang and ordered him to commit suicide? Yes. I'm going to check the secret codes again to see where Colonel Tang went and who passed them to him, Shini Yin said as she took out her phone and prepared to make a call. Wait, Baya stopped Shini Yin. What do you think are the secret codes that are not easy to find, easy to destroy, and can avoid surveillance? The arrangement of sounds and the arrangement of things that can be seen easily. Because they can be seen easily, most people won't care, Shini Yin thought. Also, they will choose a place where Colonel Tang will definitely see it. I remember you said that Colonel Tang locked himself in his room before he died, and the only people who could come into contact with him were the orderlies. So it's an order lie? Lu Shuang interrupted. Baya looked at her and shook her head. If it's an order lie, it's too simple. Moreover, they're a very strict organization. They won't let an order lie, who is so easily suspected, do it. So, Lu Shuang was confused. The secret code appeared in a place that Colonel Tang could see in his room, and it was at night, Baya reminded. I understand now. Shini Yin was enlightened. Understand what? Lu Shuang did not understand. Did someone sneak in and set up a formation? If that's the case, then Colonel Tang would have committed suicide soon after entering the room, instead of locking himself in the room for a long time, Baya explained. Lu Shuang looked at Shini Yin, waiting for him to undo it. She was so anxious. Shini Yin noticed Lu Shuang's gaze and said to Lu Shuang, the murderer has been hiding in the woods. Because we just wanted the drill, even if she left footprints, we won't suspect anything. She has been squatting, and when Colonel Tang walked to the window, she used the light spot to send a signal. Can't other people see the light spots too? Lu Shuang was suspicious. Then they must have discussed how to communicate with each other. That location is something that ordinary people wouldn't be able to discover, guessed Shini Yin. How do light dots transmit signals? Lu Shuang was curious. Light and sound are the best ways to transmit signals. It's just that there are many ways, and it's impossible for someone who isn't an insider to know. Baya explained, for example, the frequency and duration of the pause, the number of flashes, and so on. Let me give you an example. The letter A is represented by 1 flash, and the letter B is represented by 2 flashes. The letter AO can be represented by 2 flashes, a pause of 0, 1 second, and another flash. Lu Shuang understood now. So, someone gave him a signal to commit suicide. Then, won't we never be able to find out who killed him? Baya sneered and looked at Shini Yin, who had a serious expression. Not necessarily. Hurry up and tell me. I'm dying of anxiety. Lu Shuang urged. The person who can order Colonel Tang to commit suicide must have a higher position than him, and he must be someone Colonel Tang trusts and will be loyal to. This person can't be Zhuo Chuani, Sheng Dongsheng, or Su Zheng, because if these people knew that you are Shun Yin's woman, they would have exposed you a long time ago. Yes. Moreover, Colonel Tang's motive is to be loyal, and he hopes that Shuni Yin can stabilize his power. So, the person behind the scenes is in the same boat as Shuni Yin. How many people around Shuni Yin, who were above Colonel Tang, could order Colonel Tang around? I'm afraid there are only a few. Let me think. Baya looked at Shuni Yin and said in a deep voice, One is Secretary Jiang, a trusted aide of your father. He has a complicated relationship with his subordinates, and he has the ability to make Colonel Tang listen to his orders. The second is your uncle. Although he has been abroad, he is more than enough to be your behind-the-scenes supporter. The third is the invisible Colonel Zhou, but he should have been investigated by you, and he is currently excluded as a suspect. The last one. Baya paused, and there was a sharp glint in her eyes. That's your wife, Hua Zixing. Hua Zixing. That's not possible. She treats me very well, and she purposely pushed me to be with Shani Yin. Moreover, her marriage with Shuni Yin was arranged. She has a man she loves, and they got married to consolidate the power of their families. 4 years later, Shunyin promised to help her get together with her lover. Lu Shuang explained. Shuang Niu, Hua Zixing has been the president's wife for 2.5 years. During her tenure, no one was dissatisfied. Even the cunning women in the cabinet were managed by her. What does this prove? Bai reminded. She said that her family has been grooming her since she was young, and she said that she would teach me. Lu Shuang said straightforwardly. Yes, she has been groomed since she was young, so she is very shrewd. Don't believe what you see on the surface, and don't believe what she says, because this is what she wants you to see, Bai said earnestly. Lu Shuang didn't say anything. Indeed, she only looked at the surface and couldn't see through the inside. Bai continued, the Hua family is the royal family, but a few years ago, the Xiang family surpassed them. Do you know why? The moment Bai asked, she regretted it. It would be weird if Lu Shuang knew. It's because Country M is a country of weapons. The weapons developed by the Xiang family surpass the Hua family, and the president is also very afraid of the Xiang family. If he doesn't give them power, the Xiang family status will get higher and higher, and the royal family will fall. After Hua Zixing and I got married, the Hua family's international prestige increased. After Hua Zixing and I married, the Hua family's international prestige increased, and they improved their weapons, Shinian answered on behalf of Lu Shuang. Yes, that's why the Hua family's prestige increased these 2 years. But what if Hua Zixing and you divorced? After all, the Xiang clan's weapons are very good. After these 2 years of suppression, they will rebound very strongly. At that time, the Hua clan will decline very quickly. Hua Zixing's motive in marrying you is to save the Hua clan. Since Hua Zixing's motive for marrying you is to save the Hua family, will she not save it 4 years later? Bai said with certainty. After hearing Bai Ya's words, Lu Shuang came to a sudden realization. So she's lying. She won't divorce in 4 years. Even if she doesn't like Shani Yan, she will continue to dominate the position of the president's wife and hope that Shani Yan will continue to be the president. Bai smiled. Lu Shuang finally understood. Shuang Niu, you have to remember, don't listen to what others say or act in front of you in the future. Instead, you have to analyze other people's true motives and what they do behind their backs. Then, you will know if this person is good or useful, Bai said earnestly. Lu Shuang understood. Although he had a good impression of Hua Zixing, he would definitely listen to Bai Ya. Hello everyone, I am Qin Tangdang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 650. There's one more thing. Don't say it out loud, especially when you don't have absolute confidence to fight back. If you say it out loud, the other party will be desperate and use extreme measures. Do you understand? Bai continued. I understand. So, even if I know that Hua Zixing is pretending to be nice to me, I can't say it out loud. I'll just pretend that she's nice to me, but I have to be wary of her, right? Lu Shuang asked seriously. Yes. Bai looked at Shani Yan. Do you still want Lu Shuang to stay by your side? You have someone who's a ticking time bomb to Lu Shuang. You're right. I'll be cautious and cautious. It's precisely because she's a ticking time bomb that I have to keep Lu Shuang by my side. If she explodes, she'll injure Lu Shuang and herself. Hua Zixing cherishes her life. If she's the mastermind, she won't detonate it so easily. Don't worry. Shenian was determined to keep Lu Shuang by her side. At least, he would risk his life to protect her. So, he didn't believe that anyone could protect her better than him. Bai saw that Shenian was very determined and had nothing else to say. She glanced at the time on the computer and asked Shenian, "Don't you have a meeting at 2 o'clock? It's 1 o'clock now. I'm not close to the Senate." "Okay, be careful. Let me know if you need any help," Shenian said in a low voice. "I do need your help with something." "What is it?" "My subordinate was injured by the explosion. Half of her face was completely destroyed. She's still a girl and doesn't have a boyfriend. Her face is very important to a girl. Don't you have a great plastic surgeon? The one who helped me do it. Please ask them to do it for Lin Shulan." Baiya's eyes dimmed. When she thought of Lin Shulan, Her heart felt heavy and depressed. She was injured because of her carelessness. She had to be more careful in the future. She's different from you. It's a skin injury. I'm afraid it'll take more than 2 years to recover, Shinian reminded her. She can afford to wait for 2 years. Sorry to trouble you. Baya nodded in a friendly manner. I'll contact her after the meeting. I'll take Lu Shuang with me first. She's my assistant, and she needs to accompany me to the meeting, Shinian said, hugging Lu Shuang tighter, as if declaring his ownership. Lu Shuang was in pain for being hugged by him. She put a fist on his shoulder and said, You're suffocating me. I know, Shinian said dotingly. Baya's eyes softened slightly. Although Shinian was dangerous, he really loved Lu Shuang. If someone advised her leave because it was dangerous for her to stay with Gu Lingqing, she would definitely not leave. Shuangniu, remember, you must see through it but not say it. Hua Zixing is a very smart person. Don't let her see through it. Besides, this is only my suspicion. It's not certain whether it's her or not. Bai especially reminded Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang made an okay gesture. I'll call you. Take care of yourself. Bai nodded and sent them out. Lung Chao went downstairs and reported, Other than your own, there are 13 places that are being monitored. Is this how I'm going to deal with it? Clean them all up. I've also confirmed that there are no problems with the surveillance cameras. Then, mix them up and divide them into 3 parts. Send 1 to Su Zheng, 1 to Zhuochuani, and 1 to Sheng Dongcheng, Baya ordered. You want them to know that you're being monitored? Lung Chao didn't understand Baya's intention. Baya looked at Ling Chao. Isn't there a recording of Sheng Dongcheng questioning me? Send it online, and remember to use an overseas server. Lung Chao suddenly understood and couldn't help but give Baya another thumbs up. If this recording is released, Sheng Dongcheng can forget about being the president in this lifetime. Back then, he tried to frame the chief to become the president. Now, he can forget about being the president. It'll be hard for him to become the finance minister. Besides, he's a petty person. He'll suspect that it was Zhuochuani or Su Zheng who did it. But he won't suspect you. You can't possibly install a surveillance camera in your own house and let them fight amongst themselves. That's great, Lung Chao said excitedly. No, Sheng Dongcheng will suspect me too. According to his violent personality, he'll definitely pressure Shunian. Baya guessed. Then what should we do? Lung Chao was worried again. Shunian isn't easy to deal with either. He'll direct the conflict to Zhuochuani because he urgently needs to suppress Zhuochuani's power. Lung Chao clapped his hands. That's right. Baya smiled. Go to the meeting. You must find someone to take care of Lin Shulan. Also, tell her not to worry. Her face will recover in 2 years at most. I promise. I'll send someone to protect you. You need a considerate woman to take care of you. There's no need. I heard from Zhang Xingyu that Shulan has passed the critical period. She woke up in the morning. When she can be discharged, I'll bring her to the manor to take care of her. After all, she did it to protect me. I can't abandon her, Baya said firmly, but I also need someone to take care of you too. Don't worry. The person I'll send this time must be someone I can trust. I'll ask Zhang Xingyu to move in directly. He's enough. Thanks. Baya patted Lung Chao's shoulder. I'm a little sleepy. I'll take a nap first. All right, I'll keep in touch. After Lung Chao left, Baya lay on the bed, feeling very tired. She didn't sleep well yesterday, and today was a battle of wits and courage. She had to have a good rest so that she would have enough energy and brain power to deal with the next things. However, Lu Shuang forgave her. She smiled. She felt a heavy stone and her heart lightened a little, but there was another heavy stone pressing on her. She had already killed Lu Shuang's mother. She must protect Lu Shuang. Looking at Shunian, Lu Shuang would definitely become the wife of the president in the future. However, she knew Lu Shuang. He was too carefree and heartless. It was fine to be a civilian. She could live her own life. However, as the wife of the president, her every move represented the country and the royal family. She was really worried that Lu Shuang would not be able to adapt to it. She must teach him everything she could as soon as possible. Otherwise, when she left, she would still be worried in a daze. She fell asleep. She dreamed again. She dreamed of Gu Lingqing again. He was surrounded by the sea, and he was sitting alone on a very small rock in the middle of the sea. She was afraid that he would fall down, but her mind told her that it was just a dream. However, even if it was a dream, she did not want to see Gu Lingqing fall down. He stood on the rock and looked at her with a deep gaze. It was as if he had something to say to her, but he did not speak. He just stared at her. She was so afraid that when she woke up, she would not be able to see him again. A big wave rushed towards her. She found that Gu Lingqing was gone. Without thinking, she jumped into the sea. Her chest felt so stuffy that she was about to suffocate. She opened her eyes. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.